Please leave your message for 240.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Kareem Akbar. Of course, I'm in the house with my man Puerto Rican Free, and definitely in the house with my man the Grumpy OG. What's going on, fellas? How y'all feeling today?
What's good? What's good?
It's
Good, man.
popping.
It was good. Hey, Chris had a real good debate, man. Oh, somebody got some beeping in the background.
That's
Um, but I wanted to bring you in on it, Free. I thought it was such a good debate, man. So we was talking about rap, man. Who is your favorite rapper, Free?
my favorite rapper of all times.
Yeah.
Oh, Tupac.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
say okay, you say Tupac's your guy. Who you think was a better rapper, Tupac or Biggie?
Um, Biggie was a better storyteller. Tupac was a more meaningful rapper.
What you mean?
Like a lot of people can relate to what Tupac was speaking about in his lyrics.
Hmm.
Biggie can tell a story real good in his lyrics. So Biggie was a better storyteller, but Tupac was more meaningful. Like that's why you say a lot of people always say I feel what Tupac is saying because a lot of his stuff he was talking about stuff that actually went on in the hood. Not to say that Biggie wasn't talking about that, but his
Hmm.
was more of a story of stuff that you would read about, not actually see. Like Pac stuff, it was stuff that you saw happen every day in your hood.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. There's a song that Tupac did with Richie Rich. I don't know if you ever heard it. Let me see if I can find the name of it, man. It's so crazy. Like I couldn't believe that was Pac rapping like that. Um Hold on, let me see if I can find it. It's called Brothers Didn't Change. Have y'all ever heard that song by Tupac?
I probably heard if I probably know it if I hear it. Because there's a lot of music I listen to from a young kid all the way up into my adulthood. I listened to a lot. I was real big in rap and stuff. I wasn't real big in go-go when I was younger. I got on go-go as I got older, but I was real big in rap. So it was a lot of music that I listened to when I was younger.
Yeah. Yeah, so the reason I say that because you from a unique situation where you got go-go music, which was probably definitely when you were younger on fire, man. So you said you didn't grow up listening like the Chuck Brown and all them. You didn't grow up listening to that at all?
Nah, I did. I wasn't real big on it. Like I knew of go go, and
Hmm.
I would listen to certain things, but I wasn't real big on go go. Because one of the reasons I wasn't real big on go go because I wasn't old enough to go to the go go's. Like a lot of people that was into go go, they was going to the shows and stuff like that because go go was a live go go band, and so you'll go to the shows at the nightclubs and watch them play and perform. I wasn't old enough when go-go was really starting to hit the scenes. I
Hmm.
wasn't old enough to go. I didn't start going to go-go's until I was like 18 years old. So that's when I really got into go-go. My senior year of high school, I really started getting into go-go. My senior year of high school because I was going to the shows. They was performing at our schools and stuff like that. So that's when I really got into it. I was more so listening to LL Cool J, NWA. Um, uh, 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 what's the other dude that I used to listen? Kumo D,
Hmm.
um, Erg B and Rakim. Um, what's the other one that I used to listen to all the time? Special Ed. I used to listen to them. I used to listen EPMD. It was a lot of dudes I used to listen to. I wasn't real big on go-go like that.
Yeah, one person I used to love listening to, like when I was a kid, man, is Red Man, because he used to have like all those skits. I don't know if you remember them skits he'd have, and he'd just be like telling them crazy stories. I think the thing that's so funny is how much music and boxing kind of intertwine. Because I listened to Abdul while he was saying how he listened to certain artists that get him going. And I was just wondering, like, I want to do those guys listen to like that drill music, man, and get them going. Cause one thing for me, I don't know if you ever had a music that was evil. I feel like drill music is evil. Have you ever heard that drill music?
Yeah, I hear drill music all the time. I got kids that's young. I mean, my oldest stepson is he's 28 now, but
Mhm.
a lot of them they into that drill music and stuff like that. My youngest son is my youngest both well my youngest son and my youngest stepson are the same age. They 21, so they listen to that type of music and stuff like that.
Have you ever heard music that evil before? Like where you could just hear like which is what makes it so good is that when you hear the music, it just sounds like it just sounds so bad. You know what I mean? Have you ever heard music that evil before? Or no.
Um, well, yeah. I mean, if you ever sat back, because I grew up, and when I was coming up, I had a lot of friends, and so some of my friends was white, some of my friends was Hispanic. I had some Asian friends, but if you ever listen to heavy metal, that music is real crazy. Like I done heard some stuff. I'm like, y'all actually listen to this? I said, do y'all listen to the music or do y'all listen to the words? Because the music, I'm lost with the music. I'm listening to what this man is saying on the mic. I'm like, no, this man is saying some crazy stuff. I'm like, no, I can't get down with this.
And I always ask you that because one thing I always wonder, you from DC, like how was you able to stay out of like trouble? That's the one thing I always wonder how you was able to stay out of trouble because it seemed like there was really nowhere safe in DC, or was that just overstated? What you think?
No, I mean that's it. It was to a certain extent, but I was in the sports. So my time was always occupied. I never had no free time to just go outside and just play around. Like once I got into like middle the my eighth grade year in high school, I was real focused on sports because my whole thing is I wanted to go to the NFL. So I was doing everything to make sure that I stayed focused on football. So when football season was over, I was into track and wrestling. When wrestling was over, I was into I mean wrestling and track was over. I was
Mhm.
into football and playing basketball. So I would play basketball and football. So wrestling and track went on during the same time, and football and basketball went on during the same time. So I would have the weekends I would play football, and then during the week I would play basketball. And then when it was track season and wrestling season, it was the same thing. We would have track meets and we would have wrestling matches. So I always stay occupied. I didn't have any free time to just go outside and chill unless it was like the summertime when and we wasn't in school. Then I was working.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I did a lot of stuff to keep myself out of the streets, and get caught up in that lifestyle because I seen a lot of my friends lose their life and go to jail being in that lifestyle.
Yeah, and I always say that because I always give you a lot of credit to be from DC and not get caught up into what was going on because I mean you had to be walking out your door, man, seeing some of that stuff because DC ain't that big. So, I just couldn't imagine every time I turn around, I'm seeing, whether it's, people getting unalived or you see people involved in drug deals. I give you a lot of credit for not getting caught up in that, man. And even to be in DC now, like, that's pretty dope because most people don't be in DC no more because they didn't just cause so much hell and havoc. You know what I mean? Is that a familiar story that you heard where people?
Yeah, I mean, like my cousin, he had to move away because he had some things that went down in DC that caused him to have to move away. And when he came back, he
Mhm,
saw a guy that the reason why he had to move away.
mhm.
And but the thing was the guy didn't recognize him. He
What's that?
recognized the guy, but the guy didn't recognize him. So he just left it alone. He was like, he don't recognize me. I'm just gonna let it go. And so I was like, dog, things change. He was like, nah. I mean, he said things people grow up, but things are still the same. I said, nah, dog, it's different now. I said, you gotta let things go. A lot of people grew up from we're not
we're
doing
not
the
doing
same
the same
things.
things.
Some people
Some people
are.
are,
But Prize
but
got
Prize got
a
a
echo.
echo.
But yeah, some people are, but a lot of the people that we grew up with, they're not doing the same thing. Some of them got families, some of them not here, some of them locked up. But it's just when you caught up in that lifestyle, if you depending on how deep you get into it, you always have to keep your head in a swivel. So that's why I try to stay out of it, because I know that it's more easier for me to have to just worry about sticker boys than me have to worry about guys that not from the neighborhood, stick up boys, and the police. I was just worried about sticker boys, because the sticker boys stick up anybody. They don't care who you are. So I just had to worry about them. But when you out there in the street life, you got to worry about the stick up boys. You got to worry about the neighborhood that's competition with you, and you got to worry about the police. So I was like, no, that's too much for me to have to worry about. I'd rather just worry about one set of group of people. I keep my eye on them, and I ain't got to worry about nothing else.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Prize? We got my man.
Man, what's good? What's good? My bad, brothers. I had to take my daughter trick or treating. You know what I'm saying? We on the way back to the crib now.
All is well. All is well.
Appreciate you, brother.
What's going on? Crush, I see you in the house, man. I don't know if Crush can hear me, but
Yeah, I
I
can hear you, bro. I can hear you. I can hear y'all.
I ask you this, Crush. Now,
You
when we
know.
look at North Philly, we think of some of us,
Crush ain't
that
from North Philly.
ain't you from the North?
No, I'm from South Philly, bro, but I know the whole Philly thing. So
Oh,
you
okay, you
you,
from
you
South.
go and
Okay.
continue on with your North Philly question, man.
Nah,
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure we know that you from South Philly, and people take that.
Yeah.
South
My,
Philly is called the P. That's where I'm from, the P. I'm from where Beanie Siegel was from, Sylvester Stallone, fucking freaking excuse my language, George Jefferson is from down here.
I did I did
A
most of
lot
that
of stuff.
construction work on
Amber
Point
Rose.
Breeze.
Yeah, Amber
Crush.
Rose is from down here. Yeah, you did. Yeah, I'm right.
Point
That's
Breeze
where
is
I'm at in
my
the Point
shout
Breeze
out to
area.
Point Breeze. Shout out Point Breeze.
but the
That's where
reason,
I'm at, the Point Breeze area, bro. Right there. I'm right in the
Shout out the
hardest.
whole shout out to the whole South Philly.
and
Yeah, yeah.
the reason I brought up North Philly, I had my mistake. I thought you was from North Philly, but the reason I bring up North, because for me, a kid that wasn't from there, when you think of North Philly, you think of Bill Cosby, you think of the whole Junkyard Gang, the cheese steaks, downtown, the little train lines that be going through Philly. But my thing is this:
Some of the streetcars.
the
Yeah,
streetcar. So
the
when you
trolleys.
when you growing up in Philly, man, let me ask you this. Hold on, we got a lot of background. Where's that background coming from? Um, reason I say that, oh shoot, the reason I say that is because what is it like growing up in a place that people say is so dangerous, but as a kid you having so much fun? What was that like?
Man, just like any other hood. You know what I mean? So many places besides Philly, it's considered dangerous. And anywhere where it's urban people, the case. But to answer your question, it was a good experience. It was a good experience. Me, from my experience, what I've seen throughout the city, the good, the bad, the ugly,
Mhm.
it was quite an experience. But we was able to enjoy ourselves coming up as kids. So we didn't have what they have going on now, where to it they can't enjoy themselves.
Yeah,
Everywhere they go, these young bucks is out here effing up everything. So they started taking everything out of the urban city. So it's really no clubs, none of those things. Back then, growing up in the 80s, bro, and in the 70s, the street guys, they had integrity.
right,
It was like everything was set up. Kids was off limits. You don't do nothing in front of the kids. And then
right,
if anything was going down, they made sure the kids got the safety. It's plenty of times I got threw up under cars because maybe a shootout or war, a gang war would happen. They can't get us inside. They're going to get us under something so they can do what they need to do. So that was a great experience because I experienced it a few times. And then from the hip hop aspect of it, that was even greater because
Yeah.
I went through the whole city, so I was able to see the
Mm.
other parts of Philly and see what the artists and dancers and DJs were like. You know, that was my whole thing. That's where the name Crush came from, because I'm coming to invade everything. Whatever part of the city you at, the party, whatever, I'm coming. And you're gonna know I was there. And I'm not backing up from the smoke. I'm inhaling all of it. And trust me, when I leave, you gonna know the Crush was there. And everyone was like that. You wanted to make a name for yourself. That's what you did, whatever you was repping, no matter it's from basketball, football, whatever, and definitely on the hip hop side of things, but it was very geographical. So a lot of guys wouldn't even go to certain part of the cities because, you know, certain parts of North Philly, you know, me being from South Philly, I had to fight. But
Right.
I went anywhere where I went to because I was thorough, and I
Mm.
had family all over the place. And if I had to fight outside of my city, my part of the city, I'm undefeated. You hear me? I wasn't losing. I was coming back home victorious. I was not losing to no one in West Philly, Germantown, none of that. And people would tell you, "But I take a loss down here, but anywhere else, I'm not taking no loss on no dancing, none of that. I'm destroying stuff," and that's what you wanted to do. And everyone was like that, and it was from a competitive nature. So it wasn't really about any malice behind it, unless things really got bad. But it was dope, and you other people made you feel safe in their neighborhoods. So you know, it's people still to this day that wouldn't even come to South Philly because they say it's so dangerous. We have a reputation of, you know, so many different things, just like any other part. But when it came to hip hop, bro, I'm representing. And everywhere I went all over the city, I represented. And I was able to go back in those neighborhoods just as well as my own when it came to dealing with when it came to hip hop.
Yeah.
Um but
And the reason
North
I asked you that,
Philly,
and the reason
go
I
ahead.
asked you before you finish on that, the reason I asked you that is because salute to my man Chris, man, one of my favorite brothers, man, from the Dog House community. But I gotta say this, man. When I would hear Beanie Siegel talk about Philly, it sounds like hell. And one of my one of my favorite lines would he say, would he say, they stuck the I ain't gonna say that the it's kind of a racial slur what he said. He said the Chinese people gotta feed them, you know, their beards all bunched in tight. Gotta have the Chinese people feed them feed them right. Right said right.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just a rap. You just reciting a rap, everybody.
But
He
but
not.
the thing
We
that
didn't make that up.
but the thing that always got me was Beanie was like, man, my head, what he said, I'm so stressed, I started to give myself a fever. I'll be thinking about myself, cause baby, I'm don't know this, but I'm just thinking, you got to be stressed out to give yourself a fever, bro. That you, you know what,
Well,
you know
South Philly ain't an easy place
what,
to come up back in them days, like Beanie Siegel and Crush. You know that South Philly is still booming over there. Point Breeze ain't no joke right now. You
Very
will
rough.
get you will get left in Point Breeze for sure.
Rough, exactly.
not even so much,
Yes, Prize
right?
worked in my neighborhood, and I'm right there. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
right there in Point Breeze. I'm right around the corner from the avenue. You know what I mean? So I grew up on Point Breeze, so I know what it's like. And like you said back then, it was buck wild, man. People didn't want to come down here. Like if I met a girl from Mount Airy,
mm-hmm,
she would lie to her family and tell them I was from another part of the city because they wouldn't let her come down South Philly.
mm,
He from where? Yeah, I tell y'all real quick. This one girl, man, and I told her, I said, you know what? You might need to be honest
little
with your
T,
folks and tell them that I'm from South Philly because I think your folks know my folks. And if my folks see me with your folks, they're gonna get to talking.
mm-hmm,
And what happened was she tried to keep it away from her family, and her sister was turning 17. So she was like, "You gonna come to my sister party?" I tried to talk her out of it. I said, I don't think so. I said, because if you've been keeping it away from your parents, they're gonna find out. Nah, man, I'll go to this damn party. I know about 35% of her damn family. You understand what I'm saying? because
Yeah.
I partied with most of those cats. Two of her cousins was well-known DJs throughout the city. Rest in peace, DJ Lightning Rich, one of the best to ever bless the turntables in Philadelphia. Man, was very close. And also, she's was related to Steady B's first DJ, DJ Grand Dragon KD, his original DJ.
Mm-hmm.
He just passed. So rest in peace to Grand Dragon KD. So they was in her family. So they was like, she was like, this the guy I was telling y'all about, and he's from she told him I was from East Falls. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
that's right between North and West. They said he ain't from no East Falls, he from South Philly. That's Carly Crush. Yo, her parents had a freaking fit. But
Yeah.
when the family members calmed them down and told them the way that they knew me,
Mm-hmm.
then it was like, okay, it's through music, it's through hip hop and stuff like that. So they kind of took it easy, but man, they wasn't going for it at first off. You know, they didn't want they children down here, even with the guys. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you would meet up with other MCs and stuff like that. Hey, where you going at, son? Oh man, I'm going to meet up with some of the guys I party, but they live in South Philly. Oh no, you're not. I used to have to talk to their parents on the phone, man. And they be like, well, let me speak to your parents. You don't need to speak to no one, no adult in my house because your child is coming to see me.
Yeah.
So anybody with me is safe. So you don't have to check with my folks. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, your child's safety is guaranteed. And
Right.
that's what it was, brother. It was an awesome experience though.
And,
But
and,
you was
and
able to fill in the gaps through hip hop.
hey, and just to bring free on this, man, you always hear about Temple Hill or you hear about was it Southwest DC? Like when you was younger, man, did you guys go to those places or it wasn't like something you guys just did?
Temple Hills is Maryland. I lived in Temple Hills.
Okay.
Temple Hills. I mean, it's bad because it's right outside of Southeast DC.
Uh-huh.
But the most notorious neighborhoods in DC was Southeast and Northwest. Those were the most notorious neighborhoods. Those were a lot of where a lot of the stuff that you hear about that goes on was is either in Southeast or South or I mean Southeast or Northwest. Southwest
Mhm.
has some bad parts too, but Southwest is right next to Southeast, so a lot of the stuff that went down in Southwest, it spilt over from Southeast. So it originated in Southeast, but because it was right next to Southwest, it would translate over to Southwest. Same thing with Northeast. Northeast is right next to Northwest. So a lot of
Yeah.
stuff that went down in Northwest spills over into Northeast. Now Northeast also have some bad parts, but the two most notorious areas was Northwest and Southeast.
Yeah, and the reason I asked you that is because for me, I just remember when me and my buddy he had got a car, and the thing we would do, we would go on these crazy road trips, and we'd do if we'd go up there. I remember I don't know if you ever heard of Tabby Benet, but him and Wale had a song called Dig Dug. I don't know if you ever heard of that song, but he had a song called Dig Dug, and I remember we used to go over there and see him. But let me ask you this, Prize. One thing I always wondered, man, when we talk about a cat like you, I know I give you a hard time about it, but what was it like, man, having a grandfather that was, the man in the city? What was that like?
I mean, I while he was doing that in Philly, I was in North Carolina. He had me and my mom and my grandmother away, way away from Philadelphia. So I didn't get to really see him in action. I wasn't around, but I do know I reaped from the benefits. I just left him. We used to run with Aaron Jones. If y'all don't know, I'm pretty sure Crush knows Aaron Jones. I forget the name of.
JBM.
Yeah,
JBM
yeah,
all day.
he used to run with them until he changed his life around.
Yeah.
But I definitely reap the benefits till this day.
Mhm.
I could go in certain before they changed North Philly to Temple. I built most of it, but before they started doing that like that, when I first moved up here, I could go in any neighborhood in North Philly and nobody was gonna bother me because they found out that was Chico grandson. So nobody was gonna do nothing to me. So I walk around like without a worry. But at the same time, I didn't know my surroundings. I didn't know where I was. I'm on Lehigh Ave. I'm at Cecil B. Moore. I'm like I ain't know where I was at. I just that's you know who that is? That Chico grandson. Oh yeah, man. They say no. It was love everywhere I went. So I reap from the benefits now. And to answer your question, it's amazing. You know, for somebody to be able to go from that to where he is now, to even branch out, and then I can branch out my kids and whatnot. So it's all love.
Salute to my man Bentley. Salute to my man 88 Sports. And the reason I brought that up is some of that stuff up is because I feel like, and I could be wrong. Now, I didn't heard some lies. I'm sure you guys have heard some lies where you hear guys attacking each other and going at each other. The thing I wanted to bring about us talking about those things is it don't matter where you are. Most blacks and Spanish people have a shared experience. You know what I mean? They do very similar things. They hang out very similar because I tell you something funny. My great grandfather, man, was like one of those black people you would hear about in Rosewood. He had a church. Um, he had a his own crib, like 4 or 5 cribs. And this is a dude who came to this area, man, with nothing. And I'll be thinking to myself, I don't know if you guys ever feel like this, like, what was our grandfathers and our great grandfathers and grandfathers, what were they doing that we can't seem to match? I don't know. Have you guys ever felt that way before? I want to
I
get
definitely do. They built different, dog. The same way our kids, they can't. They not like us. They not built like we did growing up, like what I did or whatever. And it works both ways. Like I would have not made it back in them days, bro. My mouth is too mouthy. Like I wouldn't have made it. You feel me? So I'm definitely not built like my great grandparents or whatever. Like in the ancestors, I'm not built like that. I can answer that for myself.
Well, I'm not gonna say that I wouldn't be able to make it back then because it's a part of the human nature to adapt. Our grandparents had to adapt to their environment. We had to adapt to our environment. Our kids got to adapt to their environment. So everybody has that. Now we looking at 2020 hindsight. So we looking at in times now. But if we was in those times, we would be just like our great grandparents and our grandparents and stuff like that because we was brought up in those time frames. So we would be brought up differently. We would be able to adapt differently. So everybody is now. Would you still have the same outcome you have? Probably not because you were raised different. So your mentality will be different. So it all depends on how you was raised, how you was brought up, the way your mentality is. Everybody is brought up differently. That's why everybody have different goals and everybody achieve things differently in different ways because they brought up differently. So it all depends on your adapting to your environment. I think everybody can adapt to their environment. Some people can't. I ain't gonna say everybody can. Some people can't, but most people can adapt to their environment.
I'll say this. Salute to my man, Richie, man, and salute to my man, Ant, man. I'll say this for you. I think the biggest thing that used to really get me about living in the inner city, bro, was the fact of you constantly attacked. You constantly attacked. I remember this is a funny story. I might roast because BVO, unlike most people, I'm not a goofball. I could be honest about what I've been through. I remember I was going to kindergarten. Some cats was, they must have been third graders. You know what I mean? So what they said was, "Oh, we're gonna take these kindergarten in the snow." So as a youngster, BBO heard that, and I don't know if y'all remember the mechanical pencils you can get out the little. You put a quarter in there. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you,
Yeah,
man.
keep
We listen
cooking,
Yeah,
to
bro.
you.
we can hear you.
Oh, okay,
Go
okay.
ahead, cook.
It used to be you could put a quarter in these little gray machines and get a mechanical pencil out. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, but you get a mechanical pencil out. And I remember I went and got me two of them boys. I got 2 quarters. I got me some mechanical pencils. And I remember the brothers ran up on me, ready to throw me in the snow. and I wasn't going. Not because I was tough, because I was scared to death. And I noticed,
That's crazy.
I noticed this. People don't notice when you are scared, you gonna really hurt somebody.
Yeah, you hurt
And
something.
I remember as a kid being so over the top because I just didn't want them dudes to hurt me, and I didn't want them dudes to think I was sweet. So whatever it took, if you want me to hit you with a trash can, break your mouth at the pool, I would do all that. And I look at it now that I'm an adult and say, you know what, man? I hate that I was that scared to where I was always on attack. You know what I mean? I don't think many people can be that honest to say that. I grew up with so many rough guys that I just was like, y'all not gonna bully me. I don't care what it takes. You know?
There's
I know,
nothing wrong with
I
that
know that's right,
mindset,
dog.
brother.
Real rap.
Go
Cause
ahead.
my whole thing, BVR, was the same way, man. Listen, I'm a real nice dude, but I don't take ish. And over the years, I had to learn how to channel my patience,
Yeah.
when to turn it off and when to turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there's times when I let people get away with some stuff that you can't get away with now. You know, it's
Okay.
coming up, and it wasn't even because I really feared them. Because once I know what you capable of, you don't know what I'm capable of. So my fear actually is what I might have to do to you. Because I'm not worrying about what you're going to do to me because I already know what you can do. So I ain't letting you do that. But if you don't know the way that I move with none of that, my fear, I might go too far. I might mean to knock you out, but might wind up turning your clock off completely. I might meant to cut you, but I might wind up stabbing you 6 or 7 times. Might meant to pop you in your kneecap, but I popped you in your cat for real. So, you know, I always used to try to say, man, leave me alone. I really like to have fun. Anybody will tell you I'm known as a party animal, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and all these things. I really like to enjoy myself, but bro, don't ever think that because I'm hee ha ha ha, you know, ain't nothing sweet.
Yeah.
It'd turn off and I can black out. And it's not safe for anyone, not even myself, because I went through something before and I
Uh-huh.
was 15 years old and I blacked out and I damn near killed this dude and it freaked me out.
Yeah.
So I tell people I don't never want to black out because the result of it, I really almost wound up killing this dude.
Yeah,
He'll
don't
tell
say the
you to
K
this
word. Don't say
day.
the K word. On the live.
Oh
On the
man,
live.
oh man.
My bad, my
They
bad.
say worse words than that, but okay, I ain't want to take him out. I didn't mean to try to take him out.
Yeah.
And to this day, he said he learned a valuable lesson. He said that day, man, when you almost, you know, he said I learned not to pick with people. When people say leave them alone, don't heckle them. And he was doing it the whole entire day in school. So when we got out of school, something said if he say something else, jump on him. Here's the crazy part. He didn't say nothing, but since he was heckling me all day, the moment I laid my eyes on him, I blacked out. And that was it, man. It was horrible. It was horrible, man. Very horrible. You
I'll
know.
say this. Salute to my man Ant Man pulling up. I'm about to get to you, but it reminded me of a story. And I gotta, BVO tell the funniest stories because I remember, hold on, somebody got a little background mute for me, please. Um my
That's Thomas.
Okay, hold on one second. My so anyway, it was this older guy. I ain't gonna say his name, say no name, bear no blame. That's something my grandma used to say all the time. Don't say names. But I remember this older guy, he used to have a reputation of being so tough. And I might have been, I can't think of how old you'd be in third, fourth grade, but I'm like in third, fourth grade. He must be like maybe this is back when they had ninth
He was
grade
8 or 9.
yeah, they used to
Remo
have.
in the
This is
building.
back when they had ninth grade still, like in the middle school. You know what I mean? I'm in the middle school. You know what I mean?
Remo
Like
in the back.
middle.
Remo in the back.
Say what you Who? Oh,
Remo.
Remo backstage.
okay.
Let him up.
All
All right. Sorry about that,
right.
but I had to let you know
No
Remo
rush.
was back there, bro. All
Okay,
right.
I'm gonna let him up in 1 second. So this is what happened. So the funny thing was, this is back when they still had the ninth grade kids, well, that's little kids. You know what I mean? Before they moved to ninth grade kids, because back when I was a kid, high school was only 3 years. It wasn't 4 like it is now. But anyway, before I go too far, anyway, I remember the dude used to be known for being a bully, right? And I remember he slapped Sonic coins out my homeboy. Man. He slapped. I don't know if y'all ever played Sonic. He slapped Sonic coins out him, and I said, "Oh." I said, this brother's not gonna do that to me. If he do that to me, I'm gonna hurt him bad. And I thank God for helping me with this. I had something in my hand to hurt him real bad, and we chased him. It used to be a big field, and it was a McDonald's, and it was like a street where you could catch the bus at. And I always said that was God that made sure that bus came right in front of the McDonald's and stopped. Because if I would have got him, I wouldn't be here today. But the part that was so crazy was I still, until I got older and went to counseling and learned, that was for nothing. That was out of me being so scared of him. I want to eliminate him. That's how scared I was. You know? Now that that's a powerful thing, man. When you let your fear consume you in that way, some of the things you will do to people, it'll shock you.
Yeah.
But I want to
Yeah.
bring my man Ant in this
Yeah,
real quick. Go
bring your
ahead, Ant.
boy Remo up too, bro. While you bringing stuff.
All right, I'm about to bring you up. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead, Ant.
Man, I ain't never really had those type of experiences with people, to be honest with you.
God
Man,
damn, and you just too smooth, man. Damn
Yeah,
it.
you
We was looking
smooth.
for a
You a
story,
smooth
god
criminal,
damn it.
man.
You need to start no messing with you, gang.
that is my story. Like I just never really had them type of experiences with people.
Right. You know people that had those type of experiences?
Oh,
Like,
Well, let me ask you this, Ant. I know you're not the biggest guy in the world, so you never was challenged about your size.
nah,
That's amazing because I remember when dudes was like, we used to call it boy band size, like your size, we call that boy band size.
nah.
We was all tall. And I remember used to like if a dude a boy band size, we slapping nickels out of him. Because they used to have can't ban the snowman shirts. You remember them? I don't know if y'all remember the can't ban the
Yeah,
snowman
Jeezy.
shirt. Yeah, you
yeah.
remember when Casper had them on and we felt like you shouldn't have them on because we was poor. We couldn't afford no can't ban the snowman shirts. We couldn't go to the hood and spend no $10 and get no shirt like this. Just being honest. And I remember just out of straight up being corny, we would slap cats who had them. So I'm just surprised nobody ever just tried to attack you just off your size alone. That's kind of crazy.
Nah, man. I've always been pretty well liked, like for the most part. Like, 'cause I'm not a jerk to anybody. I'm
Right.
not a jerk to anybody. I've had some friends that other people didn't think were necessarily cool, but I'm like, hey, if I like you, that's all that really matters to me. Like one of my homeboys, John,
Mm-hmm.
he used to get picked on quite a bit. And people be like, yo, why you hang out with him? Because I'd be like, man, because I've been over his house and we had dinner over there. Like real
Yeah.
talk. Like, yo, like if it's been a time, I'll say this. So after junior high school, it was a little bit rough for me personally. Just personally. To where I didn't even really want to be around people like that.
Mm.
When I was 11 years old, seventh grade, going into eighth grade, my father, he had passed away from lung cancer. So
Mm.
just that whole process, that that kind of, in a weird way, it alleviated me of a lot of the anxiety, social anxiety that I seen a lot of other people deal with. Because I really had a mentality like why I really didn't care what people thought.
Yeah.
I really didn't care what people thought because you go from seeing somebody that you look at like, yo, this dude is Superman, right? To now you gotta help him brush his teeth. Like I remember this being 11 years old, coming home from junior high school, and
Mm-hmm.
like when he was going through chemo,
Mm-hmm.
He was so frail. Like my pops was probably like between 100 and 115 pounds when he died. And he was tall. Like my dad's like 6'1". So you could only
Yeah.
imagine just like how deathly frail he was. But seeing him go through that whole process, like
Mm-hmm.
I gotta come home, brush his teeth. I gotta help give him a bath. I gotta help him go to the bathroom. I seen him had seizures, the whole nine, like just literally just deteriorate in front where like I just like lost a lot of enthusiasm for stuff,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest with you. So I wasn't really in a position to where I just felt any of that. Like even if people did make jokes, it's like it just didn't really bother me like that. And
Right.
and I look back on it and I wish I would have handled myself a little bit better, just like overall, because it got to a point like once again, it's like I ain't really want to be around people like that. So I stopped going to school. Like I'm a high school dropout, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
I got a GED.
Right.
I don't even have that. I got an engineering degree, but that about it.
I only got my GED just because of my mom's. Like that was the only thing that made me get my GED. But aside from that, like I literally like I stopped going to school,
Yeah.
kind of isolated myself to
Mm-hmm.
some degree. And like I said, for the most part, like people like me because for whatever reason, I just always been solid at worst at most things. Like
Right.
solid to be like the greatest, this, that, or the third. But I'm one of those people. Like if you know me, like I like to watch things, observe things, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to just implement stuff. Like
Now let me ask you real quick, Kareem Akbar, is there a reason why T Hill is in the back? He's
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah. He's doing something.
Oh,
He's on
okay,
the
because
phone.
he said why I get sent to the back
Yeah.
room. Is
He's
there a
on the phone. He's on the phone.
okay? Okay, I just
Keep
saw
going.
the
We on
phone.
the show, baby. We on the show.
Oh, no more.
But
Say no more.
but yeah, man.
we got my man. He usually don't come to the doghouse community, man. But what's going on to my man Richie Threads, man? What's going on, man?
Remo.
Was good, man. I heard hood topics today, so I want to tap in, man.
You already know. You already know.
Was good, everybody. How y'all feeling, man?
Popping with you, brother. Welcome, welcome, brother. Peace.
I just wanted to jump in, man. I felt
Okay.
cozy with the topic here today, so I said, you know what? Let me talk about the shit a
Right in.
little bit.
Yeah.
I ain't never really had to go through a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I was always the cool dude. I mean, play sports and shit, so that kind of keep you out of trouble. But you know,
Mm-hmm.
all the gangsters like sports and all the chicks like sports, so that kind of kept me in a cozy spot. But
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
I went to one of them schools though. It wasn't a nice neighborhood. Y'all know Canarsie.
Yeah.
They call it the Floss now. But Canarsie was like little Spofford. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You had metal detectors and all that,
Yeah.
but everybody knew how to get it in. Like, you know what I mean? How to you cool with the dudes that ran the lunchroom or whatever. You might get through the
Mm-hmm.
back door a little something here and there. But the thing is like in Canarsie, what people don't realize, the 60 bus come from Brownsville. You got Brookline there, you got Bayview there, you got East New York. The 6 bus go from East New York to Canarsie. So it's like a hub of all neighborhoods.
Yeah.
But depending on how you handle yourself, you might either have to get busy or you just respect it. So people
Yeah.
that used to really do a lot found themselves in a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's means around that if you just authentic with yourself, people respect that. You don't have to put on a front. You don't have to prove yourself. Because remember, during that time, I went to school in 99 to 03. That's when I went to high school. You had Bloods, you had Crips, you had Haitians, you had Jamaicans, you had a little bit of everybody that could, you know what I mean, get it in. But being that aggressor all the time always found you in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And them dudes, I went to school with dudes that they ain't here no more. They wish I know that they in there, they somewhere in heaven or hell, wherever they at. Like, damn, I could
That
have
nigga
handled this
said they in hell. Damn.
either or, but it could have been handled a little bit better because you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
Like, you got to remember as an adult now, because we acting crazy at 15 to 18, maybe
Mm-hmm.
14 to 18. they nobody really lived life yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
So dudes got a chance to sit down for a couple years and come home and become Muslim or whatever path they took.
Right.
Come home and be hood preachers. But it's means
The
to
hood
change it.
preachers.
I'm just saying it's
I
means to
forgot about them brothers.
yeah,
Yeah.
everybody
Oh
know
yeah.
the greater path after they done messed up or whatever the case is, but you got options moving forward in life to grow. So like I could talk about the negativity all day, but
Yeah.
young kids getting into stuff that they living the rest of their life dealing with because they chose something at a very young age is always stupid in my book. I don't
See,
like to.
I hear you on that, and I give you that, but maybe just because where I was growing up, it was the projects. And one thing I think is not ever really brought up enough. I knew so many dudes who didn't have parents. It would be like it'd be like, nah, like 9 o'clock. School night. I gotta go in the house because I used to have to go in the house when Comic View came on. I don't know if y'all ever heard of this show. It used to be a show on BT, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, they
Comic
be
View
in the
come on.
crib, but
You going to bed. It's time for you to go to
it's
bed, man.
lights is out when that came on.
See that? See,
So
see that? It's a
go ahead.
little bit different. Remember back in the day, you were a little bit younger than me. You like 5 years younger than me. But they
Yeah.
used to have when the news came on. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Like
Hmm. I forgot about that one. That was a good
that.
one too.
That was a thing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like people, even TV, try to keep people accountable for themselves. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs with the skillet. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got choices in life, and some of the dudes that you know what I mean live the hardest life, some of the most successful dudes because they stayed on the path of something that might be their successor. Prior to that, you ain't really have to have
You
money to
know that
go to
what's
the
name was a commercial too, Remo, that damn Busta Rhymes songs, Dangerous.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah
Yep.
yep.
That used to
Listen,
be the pill control thing because people was ODing on pills.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
that's why the song's like too much of us is dangerous. That used to be
Hmm.
the New
yeah.
York.
That's
They don't
I
even
forgot
they
all
don't,
about that, Ant Man.
yeah, they don't even have those commercials no more.
No,
Like
they too reality, too real for them.
yeah, like the Dare program and all that stuff. They don't have stuff like that no more.
And
you know
it's speaking. It's funny. It's funny you brought up the Dare program. Now this is how stupid kids are. Like it used to be. Now I don't know if you guys remember. It used to be these little. Used to get these little cameras. They was black. They be wrapped in this yellow plastic. They was like Kodak cameras. These
Yeah,
little
with
instant cameras.
disposable joints.
And I remember we would get the little instant cameras, and we would want to throw up like the neighborhood, like we like some type of gangsters or something. And I'm like, no, just football players are bad. And it'd be so funny because I've seen some guy I went to school with. Shout out to him. I'm gonna say his real name. Last name was Golden. Golden was Mr. Ohio basketball. And I remember somebody said something he didn't like, and he threw it all away over some words. And I remember thinking to myself, this dude is an idiot. Now this is
I ran into some of them tonight,
before
BBL.
before LeBron, got to where he is now, like an icon. LeBron used to always be around, kind of keep his ear to the street to find out who was the best basketball player in Akron. So if you the best basketball player in Akron, best basketball player in Cleveland, LeBron James is gonna bring you his shoes personally. So I
That's what's up.
remember LeBron came to St. Clair, bought Golden these shoes, and this is the crazy part. LeBron laced them joints in front of everybody, and he put them on. I'm thinking to myself, he went from that to now, being in prison, for life. And I always say it's just about that trying to be too cool, trying to show the hood. Because I don't know what I can't speak for everybody else. But being cool was one thing. But I remember like when me and my homeboys was wearing skinny jeans, trying to be like Kanye West and 88 Keys, and Cass was clown us like, he got on skinny jeans. Oh, you know, he likes men, blah blah. This is back in this is like '07, '08. So I'm like '07, '08. I'm a junior and then senior in high school. I mean, yeah, though sophomore, junior in high school. I graduated '09. But the part that was just so funny was I remember trying to dress like that, trying to be different. and Cash would be like, Cordy. And then they go back to me and what Crush was talking about. Being scared, like, yo, they not about to harass me. And me doing stuff to make them not. And I just tell you what, I think the hardest thing in the world is how poor people attack other poor people about foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I really believe, and I could be wrong, I think the hood is a big trap. Poor neighborhoods are traps for
100%.
young men and women because we all done seen the baddest chick have 3 babies by the dude who's never worked.
Right.
Not,
I hate them. I
forget
hated
working.
that.
Forget working. I mean, the nigga ain't never had a paper route.
Nigga be sleeping in the 2 o'clock and stuff. Kids
Nigga
be out
never
of school by the
nigga
time the
never
nigga wake up.
sold because in the projects, it used to be a cool thing to have cool drinks and you'll make Kool-Aid and you know how you crush it up. You give a brother a slushy for a quarter. You know what I mean? A dude who wouldn't even do that. So I always get a kick out of that. But it's funny what Rebo call it hood topics, but that's why I always laugh because when I was in the hood, I hated it. I hated it.
Mm. Nah, you
I
know what's
hated
the
it. I hated when my mom would give me this is because I was at the tail end of food stamps. My mom would give me a $5 food stamp. I'd go into a place called Dairy, and she would say, "Bring me back my change." And man, bro, I used to want to just leave the whole money there and not go back. Like, I used to
That's
want to
deep.
just leave the money there, bro. But
you know you know
go
what's the
ahead.
problem with the hood though? Let me tell
What's
you
that?
the formula for the hood is messed up because is dudes that people strive that think is the king of the hood or whatever. And them dudes don't be having no direction for the youngins.
Zero direction.
They be preying on youngins to make them feel like they bigger than they are, right? But a real OG, OA, whatever you want to claim it to be, he
Mhm.
be like, yo, he'll protect the youngins that's successful or deemed to be successful.
Mhm.
Like, yo, shorty, go home. You don't need to be here.
Right.
This don't have nothing to do with you. Or y'all see this dude right here, y'all leave him be. Y'all mess with him, y'all mess with me. He's supposed to be the protector. However his life turned out and panned out, he done went too far already. But his job there is to make sure that the young is in a direction, not to follow or be his successor in the hood.
Salute the brother Ace in the chat. Keep
Yeah,
cooking.
Yeah.
shout out to my guy Dutch. I hope he doing all right. Cause when I used to cut school, I used to go up in the barber shop and he used to always be on my case
Yeah.
about cutting school. And then also like, yo, you mess around with these girls, make sure you protecting yourself. He was the first person to tell me, he's like, yo, before you go down there and eat some, you know what I mean? Make sure you smell it first. Shout out to my dog Dutch. I hope he doing all right. But he used to tell me all them damn horror stories about his time in Rikers Island.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie to you.
Go ahead. Go
That kind of scared me straight.
ahead.
Just hearing his experiences, like nah, I ain't trying to go through that.
Yeah, we all
But
had that old head that would tell us something. I played sports in school. At a very young age, I was playing with all seniors or whatever. But like I said, we always had that one brother in the hood was like, now what you doing that for? You smoking, you drinking, you whoop whoop. And then, that mess around, a couple of them told my mama on me, I seen your son down there, whatever, whatever. And I
Yeah.
had no business out there. I was like, even like tonight, the young boys is wild. Like, it was the young boys. I'm trick or treating with my daughter tonight. I'm in a fabulous neighborhood, right? These dudes walk up ski masks. I don't care about their locks like some of the other old heads. They like, I don't like their hair. I don't care about that. They had masks, vest on. I'm like, yo, what y'all? I say, young boy, what you supposed to be? He said, man, we YNs, and kept it moving across the street. I was like, straight like that, and I was just like, man, oh man, who watching them two little kids? You know what I'm saying? They probably was like 13, 14, but they said they was YNs. And then my sister kind of looked at me because she not I know what they meant, and I was just like, wow, all right, that's what's up. Kept it pushing. You know what I mean? They smoking and stuff. They look. I mean, I don't know who was watching them, but shout out to them. At least they were trick or treating.
I'll say this. One thing I always used to say, and people don't believe me when I say this. I always felt like DMX was a demon from hell. I always said that, I always felt like I know everybody's but oh man, no X is that dude. No, I seen when DMX dropped that song "Get at Me," dog. I remember cats just losing their minds trying to show that they the baddest mofo
I
there.
know that was a diss record. That's why that people
But
responded.
I'm just saying the fact that I just seen. I don't know if people understand. I've seen. Hold on, somebody got some.
No, DMX was cool, dog. He was a down to earth
No,
dude.
I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm just saying for me as a young kid hearing his music and seeing my friends and them try to, you know, do stuff they ain't got no business doing, listening to his music because then he was there. And then around '05, like when I turned 15, Jeezy dropped his album.
So
And
wait, hold
everybody,
on, Kareem Akbar. So you're basically saying you think that DMX portrayed like some kind of gangster rapper, kind of sorta?
no, I just felt like DMX's music and his message was just for like, I don't know,
Real cats and real
not
people
even
that
real cats, for the demons.
nah
Nah,
Nah,
nah.
nah
you
Hold
gotta
on,
bro.
hold
really
on, hold
listen
on.
to it. You
X
gotta
had
really listen
messages.
to it. You gotta really listen to it.
Remember,
No,
Hold
X
you
was
got
X was spitting prayers, bro. He
Oh,
busting
Hold
nine,
out
on.
prayers
nah,
in
you
the
I'll
gotta
be
song.
right
remember,
back.
I'm
yeah.
9 years old. You might
X,
have been 12, and I'm like 9 years old. I'm telling you, when you're 9 years old, you're not understanding the difference of what he's talking about. You
yeah.
like, yo, who is this crazy mofo? You know what I mean?
I mean, X came up in a real rough area off of school. I mean, on School Street, he was very less fortunate, but X was a real cool individual. I met X personally. He lived right next door to my ex-wife father, and he was a real down to earth dude. He was cool. He spoke to everybody. He ain't never had no. He wasn't those type of dude that was. He knew he was a celebrity. He was too big for everybody else that was out there. He will always get out, shake everybody's hand, and talk to everybody. But he was a cool dude. I mean, I used to see him on a regular basis. He was cool. Him and Jada and Styles P. I used to see them on a regular basis. I live right around the corner from them. I used to see them on a regular basis. They was
No,
real cool
I get
individuals.
what you're saying. Free. I'm saying for me in my neighborhood, I can't speak for them as people. I'm telling you, when cats heard them dudes come out, I seen niggas lose their mind because it was like, and 50 Cent came out. I just felt like maybe because where I was around a lot of dumb dudes, it seemed like when X came out, everybody was on this, yo, I'm gonna show you I'm about this or I'm about that type of stuff. And it just, for me, I can say it just always got me that so many young kids just got caught up in wanting to be, you know, gangsters or wanting to be tough, man. Because I don't care what nobody say. Everybody get caught up in wanting to be tough. Even if you even if you the cool dude, you get caught up in wanting to be tough because girls always like a dude that can fight.
Mm-mm,
Girls always
mm-mm.
want the dude that can
Mm.
throw
Hold,
hands. Go ahead.
hold on. The thing is, right?
Go ahead.
People that don't know themselves get caught up in moments, right?
For sure.
And it and during that time you speaking of, it's kind of was the start of the disconnect era, right? That
Right.
era that was before me kind of preached to the youngins, right? So you had like 5%ers, what's the
Mhm.
daily mathematics dudes, and you know what I'm saying, them type of dudes. Then it became our era. Somehow or another, our era, or my era, I should say, we kind of separated ourselves from the youngins because the youngins was wild and they wouldn't listen to us, right?
Right, right.
So now I could go to the park, play college ball, play high school ball, whatever, blah blah blah, right? I could tell them something, and these kids think they know it all. So I tell them like, yo, y'all little niggas is wilding. Their response like, ain't no little niggas around here. Da, 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 da. I don't got no more to say because now I'm a civilian. Like I got kids, I got family. Like I can't put myself in a position to argue with them because they don't have respect for the next group above them.
Right.
That's kind of where the chaos begins. So it's babies now showing kids how to be tyrants without guidance because they don't have no vision for themselves. Like I said before, the old dudes that's just stuck where they were before, they'll tell you like, "Yo, go ahead, this is not for you."
For sure.
The disconnect became with you know what I'm saying. The street dudes not trying to you know foster the young kids into successful positions, and that's where it went left.
I agree with that. What's that noise? Maybe I'm tripping. Like
You said
something.
it's no, I ain't hear that part. I say is the what? What was it?
No, no, I heard. I thought that was just noise. No, I was saying, and
It's
and
no
I
noise.
and I say that because they got something now they call in Cleveland called the Kia Boys. What they do
Them
is,
they everywhere. BVO. They here
yeah,
too. They in
yeah.
Philly.
Yeah, yeah. They
So
stole.
these,
They done took my sister car, a Kia
They
Sorrento.
stole my son's scat pack 2 times. They stole my son's scat pack, and then the police recovered it. The tow truck driver dropped it, picked to try to go pick up another car, and they went and stole the wreck car from the. I said, "Yeah, all right, yeah, all right, but whatever." That's what they told us. But now we're waiting on so he can get another car, and it's
but
ridiculous. Them Kia boys. They don't just steal Kias and Hondas. They take
Yeah.
everything.
They smart though. They smart
Yep.
though.
Yes,
They
they
cause
are. They should be mechanics.
forget mechanics. Them dudes is chipping computers
That's what
with
I
it.
meant. Okay, a
Yeah,
technology
yeah. They
mechanic. Like they should invest in themselves. And I would tell them, look, bro, you can do that. You know how much they'll pay you to do that legally?
yeah, yeah.
I
They was
think that's a good. I think what y'all saying is y'all saying something that you would say as an adult. And one thing I'll tell you, and I can't speak for nobody. I felt like when I was coming up, the sense of hopelessness was there in the hood. Like I grew up in a area it was called Susan Court, and they would call it SC Home of the Losers. And dudes will walk around in the projects and be like, "Yo, this the home of the losers." Like niggas started making T-shirts that said "Home of the Losers," and I don't know. Maybe I'm a goofball, but I just never understood like how dudes could just be so caught up in this hood life that they would forget that there's more out there. What I would do once I got to high school, man, me and my homeboy would catch the bus to the good neighborhood and we'd be hanging out with the white kids, so to speak. And I found out like I didn't know who Kanye West was, but they had this song called Bittersweet or whatever. I'm like, who is this corny nigga, man? And I remember we went and we got to hear the music, and then I ended up going to the concerts and all that. Used to be a dude named Ryan Fest. I remember Ryan Fest was there, Consequence, all these dudes was there. And I was like, these dudes is having fun. It's not hell like it is in the neighborhood. And the thing I think that happens to so many kids before they get the opportunity to reach for more, they get caught up in something just like Remo said and be gone forever. It's just that quick. It's just that quick. You know what I mean? You could be gone forever just on some. You didn't went the wrong way. We didn't heard all that. I mean, I can't tell you how many basketball dudes. It don't really happen to football players because we're a little bit smarter than the basketball needs. But
I like
you,
how you snuck
how
that in
many
there.
basketball dudes
that
you
that's hold
seen?
on, hold on. I ain't gonna allow that
Go ahead.
I'm a
because
hooper too. I used to hoop too, so I'm gonna let him cook though. Let him cook.
no, no, hold
Let him
on.
hang himself out to dry.
I'm gonna
Go
name
ahead.
one person, Maurice Claret, but go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's a perfect one. But Maurice got drafted third round to the Broncos. Got a
after, after,
doggone
after.
He should have been
rehabilitation
number one
center.
pick if he would have sat still.
Yep, yep.
But
Go ahead, go ahead. Keep cooking.
But
he
keep
just
going.
he
Carry
just
on. Go off.
he just a Youngstown dude. And Youngstown dudes, they eat the whole lot of donut, as my grandfather would say. And when you got a dude who eat the whole lot of donut, that's a rough guy right there. So that's just what it is. But make a long story long, as my would say. I think the thing that happens so much is so many people don't even know that there's more out there. Then when you go somewhere and it's different, you feel like, especially like if you grew up in the hood, you be like, dang, I'm not as cool as these niggas. You know what I mean? Like I would meet cats like Remo who would do that I call it that Zach Morris stuff, and he'd be like, that ain't me though. You know what I mean?
Hold on,
Because
hold on. What's Zach Morris? Hold on. You can't say Remo and then Zach Morris. How I get into this?
listen, this is what I'm saying. When I say a dude that's naturally cool for something that's not street related. Like you
Okay.
might have been cool for like how you was dressing or how you was talking or something like that. I always would look at that. I would admire that just me being a youngster. I would admire that because You're gonna get love for sports, but when you got love for just being yourself, that was like the coolest thing in the world to me back then. That was the coolest thing in the world to me. But I feel like now these
Pardon
kids
me.
really care so much about what everybody else think. You got a guy like Little Dirk, who I
Mhm.
used to see coming to the city all the time. You know, about to probably do life in prison. Or you
Well,
see,
that's not
or
all the way true, but go
but
on.
no, I'm just giving an example. Or you had a guy like PNB Rock used to come to Cleveland all the time,
Shout
get his
out PNB.
get his head popped off over a chain. I'm just saying, I don't know what it is about our culture, the
That was
music,
a grown man influencing a daggone kid to do that.
but I say that I just don't understand when it comes to us, Black and Spanish people, because we usually together in any neighborhood we go to in Cleveland, they got nothing but Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. I just don't understand like what's influencing us to be so violent toward each other. What you guys think on that? I want you guys.
That's the question of the hour there. That was a good one.
Like I've never seen a dude with a chain and say, you know, I'm gonna take his chain.
But see, I have though. I have seen like guys like pull up when I was a young boy, and I see a Honda Accord with them rims, them Asian boys, and I just follow him a little bit and come back, and his joints would be on center blocks in the morning because I needed those rims, and my mom, even though they had all that money, see, when I grow up, my mom give me $10, $15. I'm out here watching these other kids run around with Averex jackets, and I know my mom could get me one, but she wasn't. That's just how it was. You know what I mean? So I did my own stuff to get, because I wanted those Averex jacket, and I wanted that Asian boy. I wanted his 17s back in the day. Or no, he had 18s and I needed them. So me and my three boys came, and I had those rims in the morning system. So like I would do that if I seen a dude with a, if we seen a dude with a chain, man, we was on that type of time. And then I go back to live where I live. So it
Oh,
was
I hated y'all niggas.
yeah. I needed that chain. I was gonna get your chain. It might not be that day, but where I grew up in Durham, North Carolina, it wasn't big. And your chain, especially in Raleigh tried to get tough.
Chocolate City.
Raleigh tried to get tough, but we used to go there. That's where I had to get my chains from. Not nobody in the city is too small, but Raleigh, them rich boys was out there with them long chains, with them RZA chains. Cause I was with the Wu Tang back then. I felt like I was with them, and I needed one of them chains like the RZA had in the Tragedy video with the Angel John, and the boy had one. And we broad daylight, boy. We ran down on them boys. We sure did, and I got that chain. I sure did.
Hold on. Let me ask a question real quick.
Go ahead.
You came from New York to Durham?
No. I came from Durham, North Carolina to Philly, South Jersey area. I live in South Jersey, but I spent most of my life in Philly.
Okay. And see, I think it is also geographical too. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
in like New York during that time, like
Hmm.
it was less about the hammers at some point
Right.
in time because it was so hard to really get pew pew back then.
See,
Like,
For
you know what I'm
but
sure.
saying?
see, let me tell you this real quick before you land your plane.
Don't go. No, don't. You're not
North
telling that
Carolina,
story.
I know what to
We
say.
gotta
I
go
know what
to.
to
We
say. I
gotta.
know what to say. I know what to say. Back in my day, in down there, because it's an open carry state in North Carolina, it was
Hmm.
easy to get them because I would just go to the show. They would have a firearm show, and I would go there and just lift it like three or four of them. I would go get one, sit in the car for an hour, go back in the show, get another one, sit in the car for an hour, go back. And so I come out with like three, four of arms. I would come out there, and now mind you, I'm 16, 17 years old. I got a brand new car that my grandparents got me. You know what I mean? And I got everything you wanted. And then once I got into that lifestyle, I was looking, and I was into a world that I didn't know what I was doing, but I had access to stuff. Now 25 and 26-year-olds want to be my friends. Now they're giving me $700, $800. Bro, I'm 16 years old walking around with $1,100 in my pocket.
See, that's why though. All right, see, for instance, right? Because I used to go down there to this little ass town in South Carolina called North Santee, right?
Shout
E-
out North Tennessee. Shout out South Carolina.
when you go down there, it's so small. Everybody know you from New York out there, but like they able to access everything. You go to a Walmart, you can go get some shit. You go to like the Piggly Wigglies where people used to hang out and like kick it. And I was just so lost. But like in New York, right? So let's take a time lapse, right? And in college, I drove I think a '99 Tahoe, 20-inch rims, TVs, and all that, right? I ain't really had to deal with none of that because you know what I mean. I had respect where I was at. I took that same whip down to North Carolina to a car show. We used to go to remember Black Bikers Weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
The energy down there was just
Crazy.
different. They just hated people from New York. But I only knew, I
But we
only knew,
didn't though. Keep going.
but we just we just stood out for a reason that was like unbeknownst to us. They ain't like the energy,
You
but
know
they
why
was
I'm gonna tell y'all about y'all New York niggas when y'all used to
mhm.
come down to the city?
Oh, let
See,
me finish the story real quick. Let me finish the story. Go ahead.
no,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna tell them real quick. They felt like New Yorkers was aggressive, and I was just like, this is how they are because I used to come to Philadelphia as when I was younger.
we used to just talk shit and we like and
Mm-hmm.
we liked y'all ladies. Y'all ladies like flashy shit. So they was like, fuck out of here, this New York nigga. But
Hey, bro, you can't cuss like that. Go
oh,
ahead.
apologize, but it was just so much going on down there, and they
Yeah.
had access to everything. So like we couldn't meet a lot of energy out there because we wasn't traveling state to state with them things. So we had
Yeah.
to humble up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Being we out of town, we in A town, whatever the case is, and they had access to a lot of stuff. But we used to see in Black Bikers Weekend, it used to get rugged and them things used to come out. I didn't understand it, but then as I got older, I'm like, yo, they just going to Walmart in New York. You get caught with something, it's guaranteed 13 months.
Yeah.
It's 3 years, but you got to do a year and a half guaranteed. Ain't nobody got time to sit down. So New York is not as aggressive as well now. It's crazy, but back then people wasn't really running around like that. The scammers kind of like made it like that. It's weird. It was the dope boys really had the things, but
Mm-hmm.
I just felt as though it got so crazy out out of town that New York had to come a little bit more humble
Yeah.
than really being aggressive because y'all really had them things and y'all could
Yeah,
ride
on
around with
deck.
them. Yeah, well, y'all
Yep.
could ride around with them.
No, we
No
couldn't, but
bullshit.
we did.
You know what I
So
do
What
y'all
know
part? What
too?
part of North Carolina he was going to, fam?
I was really going out there for Black Bikers Week,
I
South
know what.
Carolina.
So you was out there at the bike rally. Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah, before it got crazy and they banned it.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I know that we used to go there when we was young, you know what I mean? And it was lit. But the New York coming down there, a lot of people from North Carolina didn't like New York because they come in there and the girls like the way that y'all talk and the girls like
Uh-huh.
the y'all clothes, you know what I'm saying? And we was looking
Uh-huh.
like,
Yeah.
man, I'm finna go. But not
Yeah.
me. I was like, man, that nigga cool to me. You know what I mean? So I go speak to him, what up, cuz? You know what I mean? He speak, yo, what's up? Woo woo. I'm from New York. One of my man Ski was from North Jersey, New York, North Jersey area. That was my dude. My man was like, yo, why you like them niggas, man? I was like, cause I'm no hater. And I look good too, nigga. I can get these girls. I ain't worried about the way them niggas talk. Them girls know who I am, what I got, and what I do. So they sliding regardless. So that's y'all niggas, you know what I mean? And that's just the way it was. So I had no problem with the New Yorkers coming in our town. I would, because most of us we gonna show you Southern hospitality. I'm gonna get you
Mhm.
something to smoke. I'm gonna get you something to sip on. I'm gonna take you to some little spots. You cool? We good? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And I like to show y'all my city, and that's how I was, and that's how I was neutral
But
everywhere. I could
even
go in the Bloods, the Crips neighborhoods. I could go anywhere I want in the city. Shout
I'll
out my
tell you
city,
the
Bull
funny
City.
thing about that is the thing that Remo was talking about, and I'm gonna bring free on this. People like my dad just ruined it for New Yorker because they would go there and show they behind. Like,
Yo, but hold on, before D go, right? You know what the common denominator with all of the BS is, right? The
Good.
women. The women. Women cause divide between black men, man.
You said women cause the what?
The divide between the common black men. Men lose their
Oh
mind
yeah,
over women.
for sure, for sure. That's a fact. But the reason I say that is I just remember hearing like my dad used to tell this crazy story where he had went somewhere out of town and he just was bragging about pulling a bartender over the bar and letting him know I'm from New York City. You don't talk like that to me. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Like, why would you be out of town grabbing bartenders by the neck? But I ask you this, Free, because you come from one of the most dangerous cities ever in DC. When you was a kid hearing about all the people passing away, what was that like, man? Because I used to hear like it was like somebody getting unalive like almost every day in DC back then. What was that like? Oh, my man, free fell off. But let me see. Where he at? He must have fell off. But I don't know, man. I think the come on. Appreciate everybody coming through. It's
I
about
don't appreciate you saying what you said about DMX.
Yeah, that was crazy work.
I'm
Crazy work.
what the youngsters say. I'm telling my experience with DMX.
I don't care. I don't appreciate it.
I don't either.
I feel like your experience with DMX wasn't measured.
How old was you in '98?
It was bogus.
And was you was what 10, 11?
Did you listen to what the man says in the opening line on "Get at Me, Dog"?
He don't. He didn't.
No, I was like 9, 8 years old. No,
Yeah,
I
but you're an
didn't.
adult now.
Yeah, you grown now,
have
bro.
you actually listened? Have you actually listened to the words in the song?
No, he hasn't.
I have now.
Nah,
Back
How
he
does
then,
he,
I
how
hasn't.
does he,
didn't.
how does he open the song, bro?
I can't remember
Because we about to
offhand,
go to
man.
church. I can remember offhand.
Yeah.
What
Go ahead.
must I go through to show you? Just
Shit
think
is
about
real.
that.
This
Shit
is
is real.
real.
No, but just before we even get to the shit is
I
real.
never gave a what, how, and nobody, how feel.
Before we even
Not
get there, just
He
look at this
snapped.
part. What must I go through to show
Yeah,
you?
that's what he said.
Rob and I still not
Not
because
because
I
I
want
want
to,
to, because I
because I
have to.
have
Have
to.
to. So
Yeah.
Don't
don't
make
make
me
me
show you what the Mac do.
with
If
the
you don't know
Mac
by now, then you slipping.
flipping.
I
Yeah.
let my man in them stay pretty. I'ma stay the
You know, he
crumb.
went at. You know who he went at? He went at
K-Solo.
Red. He went at Red Man Brother on that one.
No,
Kareem.
K-Solo not Red Man, brother. But that, yeah.
Well, you know, they said that's how I was when I was a young boy. They were trying to say they were brothers, but the K Solo, that was the
Speaking
K
of Red Man, though, his sister could rhyme, though. I don't know if you ever heard of Roz Nova.
Hey,
Roz
Muddy
can rap.
Waters, them skits. When I was a little kid hearing them skits, bro,
crazy.
them skits was crazy, bro. And I
Fire.
remember
But
when Cam
that's what I was
came
saying
out with that
that's
same
what I was
thing.
saying about Get At Me,
That
though.
FU joint. Which one? BV? The Cam joint. The FU.
No, it was Purple Haze
The
and
Purple Haze.
Purple Haze, and what's the one after that? Where it had
That
Sucker
that
or
was
Not?
that was watered down Cam.
What? Purple Haze?
Cam was already in
Cam
the
was doing.
industry.
Yeah, you was right. His
I
bars
mean, if
started
you
running out of raps by then, but the album still was pretty good though.
No. That album was good, but what I'm saying, the most gritty Cam was SDE
SDE.
and Confessions of Fire Cam.
SDE for me. With that one with my man Dutchy and Spade from Philly,
Yeah.
where I'm from. When Dutchy came on that joint crazy. Where I'm from, I can't really repeat the words on here, but
Where I'm from, we let the cartridge blast. Everybody
yeah,
smarting math.
not Cam part, but Dutch when the way Dutch said it all. Cause you know, come on, no, no,
but see, you
no.
know what's so funny, man? I
I'm
remember
from
like
where niggas get for running their mouth. I'm from get their weight up in front of their house.
y'all like y'all like gritty Cam the Cam because Cam used to be in Ohio all the time. Used to be a dude. You ever heard this song called "Get in Ohio"? But I
That
used
was
to be a
old.
dude.
That was old Cam though. That was later
No, this
on though.
no this
That
what
was
I'm saying. What I'm saying is the Cam y'all talking about. I was still listening to Little Bow Wow and Romeo back then. I'm just being real. Like I was listening
No
to
doubt,
B2K,
no
going to the
doubt.
Spring Tour and stuff back then. I'm talking about when I first heard Cam was when we heard this little kid and that little Wayne imitating these dudes from Harlem. Like, what is this? Who is these Dipset niggas? And then I found out who they was because they was in it. And I remember like, well, what's that album he had? Dang, they had a movie Killer Season. And I remember Killer Season. And I had never seen nobody urinate on somebody. I said, who was that gutter to do some crazy? But the thing I always thought about Cam, I'll tell you one thing about Cam, at least for cats my age. Cam has ruined so many relationships for dudes my age because niggas trying to act like Cam, talk like Cam. Like, bro, you're not Cameron Giles. You can't do that. You can't tell a girl, go to McDonald's and get you something to eat and come back. That's not happening. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I will say about Cam. Cam was the flyest when he was like as my man Remo said when he got old. I like that Cam more than I did. You know, I like the samples, the Jules Santanas. You know what I mean? Because when I hear, I really mean it, bro. That's like that song, "Like a Pimp," "Like a Pimp" by David Banner. I really mean it. Anybody I'll say 30 to 35. Man, them was two classics, bro. I can remember niggas playing like a pimp, like at the little teen club. I don't know if you. I was
Man,
already
I'm gonna
grown,
tell you
but
one thing about Joel Santana.
go ahead.
When From Me to You came out, I
Oh,
liked
could
it.
I touch on something real quick?
I listened
With
to
the
it later
whole, my
on.
pops
I
is
hate
65 years
From Me
old,
to You.
right?
You hate it now? Why you say that?
It's some of the worst
Say that
rapping
again?
I ever heard in my life.
Yeah, he just talking. He not really got no substance behind it. He just talking.
It's not even about the substance. It's not even about substance or not having substance.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. Like I don't even know where the hell you going with this.
40 Cal was like the best lyricist from the rock, but
Nah,
I
hell
felt
no.
I
Cam for me. Well, I
felt
really feel like Cam turned the corner from a
when
penmanship standpoint was
Mhm.
Fantastic Four Part 2 on the Professional too. When he started that verse off, back in the days, we were slaves, whips and chains. It's tradition. All I got, whips and chains. All I did, flip some cane. I was like, man,
See, I never liked to hear. I used to like to hear Cam talk cocky and what he say, I want a deal, girl. Like when they had the burgers 2 for $5. You know, I like or what's that song? He had this song, I'm at Popeyes eating chicken. I always like cocky Cam. That was what I like. I never really cared for him to be super lyrical. Cause I knew like when he did that verses, I was surprised that Jada ate him alive like that. What about you?
I was definitely not surprised. We talking about
not surprised at
Jadakiss.
all.
The Loxy, Cameron, and them do what they do. They just could get together and go out there on the stage. Cause the Lox was actually rehearsing and stuff. They don't play no games. They took it like serious. Cam and them and Jim and didn't take it serious. They just like we was gonna rap our old raps against their songs. And yeah, they probably do got more hits than the Locks, but they can't rap better than the Locks. None of them niggas. And Jadakiss got hold on. Jadakiss got up there and showed you why he's top 5 dead or alive. You know, that Jadakiss got up there and was different. Even though he lost a battle or two, not two, but I thought he lost against Beanie Siegel. I don't care what nobody say, but that's one of the best diss songs of all time.
Well,
But
no,
Jadakiss went off on that stage. He showed you Jadakiss took over the whole verses, dog. He undefeated in verses. He smashed Fab. He smashed Dipset. And was he on there the third time or was it 2 times?
Hold on, 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 hold on. Cam did not lose. Dipset lost, right?
Nah,
Hold on,
Cam
hear me
got
out.
cooked.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Right? The way Cam is when it comes to making money and all of that stuff, he don't have no rights to none of that old catalog.
oh, okay.
So he wouldn't even perform none of the. You ain't hear no Confessions of Fire, anything like none of them songs that he had that meant
Because
something.
it's a group battle. Those are
No,
solo
no, no,
songs.
no.
Hold on. Let him
What's it?
talk. About to
What's
say
the name? Jada said some joints that he was on features on XYZ. You ain't hear no 24 Hours to Live. You ain't hear nothing from Cam which banned from TV. You're not gonna hear none of that because he don't have the rights to none of that. He's a businessman first. So
oh,
the purpose of the battle was to get hot and get respin values. Yesterday's price, not today's price, being that they owned all of that music.
oh, okay. Why ain't
So
they
it's
why ain't they do
I'll say this, Remo. I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you. Them niggas is just not as good as MCs as them dudes. That's just what
no,
it
no,
comes
no,
down
no.
to. Point
I'm not
blank.
going.
Period.
I'm not going to compare that. But if my back on the wall, we going bar for bar with certain things. Cam himself is not going to get paid for none of the shit that he would fight with.
I'm not even talking about going bar for bar. I'm just talking about in terms of preparation. What has to be taken into consideration, regardless of how we feel about Puff right now, that dude was phenomenal and not only spotting talent, but also cultivating talent. He was running Bad Boy like a damn boot camp. So them guys, they know how to perform.
that?
Cam, Jewels, Jim, Dipset as a whole, they're more of a collective than they are a group. So I don't think that them
Mhm.
guys, they are going to be as prepared on the level of the Locks.
Jada and Styles? Come on, bro.
Them dudes are just super prepared. Them guys are
Mhm.
MCs. MC is short for Master of Ceremony.
Yeah, and they rehearsed for that verses,
Yeah,
bro.
you could tell, and then you could tell that the chemistry is still there, the synergy is
Crazy.
still there.
The Locks is one of the best groups of all time for me.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know
Y'all
exactly. I
niggas
don't know exactly where I would put them.
was a rap group?
Yeah, I don't know
Wu
exactly where I
Tang
would put them.
Clan. Like that. That's
The
I mean,
Locks might not even be a top 5 group for me all time. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
yeah, I would have Outkast. Trying to go off the top.
Listen, Outkast is up there for me. What's name is one of the greatest verses I've ever heard in my life. Return of the G. Andre 3000's verse
Yeah,
on that song is
yeah,
one of
it's
the. As a
different.
matter of fact, that song I feel
So
like
like
it's extremely apropos. You know what I mean?
Bone
Given the
Thugs,
conversation
Bone
that
Thugs,
was taking place tonight. Like Return of the Gangster Thankster. Them niggas that got
NWA.
enough to buy an ounce, but not enough to bounce them kids to the zoo in the park so they grow up in the dark, never seeing light, and they end up being like your sorry ass, robbing niggas in broad ass daylight, get down.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh my
Oh,
lord.
I see you a Koofy type of rap nigga. And okay, I got you. I got you.
What? They
You like,
wasn't on that. They wasn't on that back then.
No.
They was not on that back then. Andre wasn't dressing like that
no,
when he said that.
man, you missed what I'm saying. I kind of I see like you like stuff like Black Thought.
Backpack rapper, Black.
No, because my favorite rapper of all time is DMX. And like I was saying before about Get At Me Dog, here's what you were missing on, in my personal opinion.
Go ahead.
Is DMX in my personal opinion. Somebody like DMX, Tupac, I would even say Biggie. Them guys knew how to express their humanity on records. Like, even though on Get At Me Dog, DMX would say, I got that'll disable a man with a wave of the hand. He also said, the days are longer and it seems like I'm facing time. I got a lot of dreams, but I'm not really chasing mine. I soak it all up like a sitting fly. Nowadays, getting by is nothing more than an occasional meal and getting high. I live to die, that's where I'm headed. Yo, that's like the
Yeah, Act
I
Busy. I
remember
feel
when
like
that line
Act
really
Busy.
sunk in for me. I was like,
Yeah, he went crazy. No, he went crazy.
damn.
Locks for
No, it's
me.
not
They
even
up
about
there.
going crazy, but when you really think about it, just like, yo, I got a lot of dreams, but I'm not really chasing mine. And you know how bad your life gotta be for you to say nowadays getting by is nothing more than an occasional meal. He didn't even say I'm eating good. He said an occasional meal and getting high. I live to die. That's why I'm headed. I'm like, yo.
It's like for my man. She want me on that Dave Hollister tip. What he say?
Nah. Cam in my personal
What
opinion. Cam
Cam?
is one of the most underrated rappers of all time from a
He's
technical
probably top
standpoint.
5 in Harlem, but
I'm,
he's not.
I'm not.
I'm a huge Cam fan.
Hold on.
Cam's one of my favorite rappers of all time.
I'm not your man or your man stand-in. Like it was like, yo, killers.
Yo, when Cam used to say all the time, it's like, yo, I'm not a rapper. I just rap because I'm nice.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, he said all.
Nah, but Cam
he can rap.
let you know because when he was talking about, I can't remember who he was talking about on It Is What It Is, and he was talking about internal rhymes and rhyme schemes and all that stuff. And just when you just hear the way he rhymes, like, yo,
The double entendres and all that. He
not
really,
just the double entendres, but just like the internal rhyme schemes, because you got a lot of people where they just rhyme the end of the word.
yeah.
Cam will have things rhyming internally, like on some Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, Coogee rap type. Like Cam is like
Yeah.
nice to me.
Yeah, like I said, he's top 5 of Harlem, but I'm with the brother Busy in the chat. The Locks for me, like with the way that We Are the Streets come on is different, bro. Like from front to back, they was on all them songs, bro.
I
All the
love We Are
songs.
the Streets, but it's difficult for me to put Locks top 3 because
Okay, maybe he's a little bit younger because I would say NWA. I don't know how far we want to go
I don't
back.
even know if I would
Wu
put
Tang.
NWA in the top
What?
5 rap groups.
Man, shoot.
I love,
You
but
tweaking.
how many NWA albums are there? There's NWA the Posse.
That first one, that's all I need to know. With Easy and them on that.
That's not the first one though.
I
The
was
first
a
one is the
kid when
NWA
I
and the
was.
Posse.
I
That's
know.
the second album.
I know, but I was a kid when that stuff was. So I had to grow up and listen to all of it. But I know I would definitely put them in there because of what they went through and how they was able to express themselves. So what they went through, I know people might say Public Enemy and stuff like that, but I want to talk about like I feel like the Locks, you know,
for me, man, that We Are the Streets is different, bro. It's not a lot of group albums that's that raw and lyrical and fire. And Swiss was on the beats. Like you couldn't have it more.
Quite a few, bro. Because even if we just want to just keep it just hardcore rap, gangster rap, what's
What?
the thing got one of the better MOP. MOP got one of the better
Oh
catalogs.
man, ain't no MOP better than no MOP
Yes.
album is better than We
Go
Are
go
the
listen. Go
Streets.
listen to Firing Squad tonight, bro.
I listen to Fire Squad. I like
I'm saying
MOP.
go listen to it tonight.
No, I'm not. I don't have to because I don't even have to do that because I
Yo,
already know is none of them songs gonna be on there when Jada was like, he said, I know a few want to get my watch, but it's gonna be
yeah,
a funeral if you try to
my
get my
watch.
watch.
Yeah.
Run up in the gun store and cop the top shelf. Come
Ain't
on, bro.
nothing
That
you
was
can do to top
crazy.
notch rough. Yo,
Right. And
I love We Are the
crack
Streets.
game is dead. All they want is weed now. Chicks that I went to school with is seed now. You know, kids, stocky brown, light brown, ice down in my room look like Nighttown. Like he was, man, ain't no MOP ain't never
Free
said nothing like
man.
that.
No. You tripping now. You tripping.
MOP, you
You tripping now. You
tweaking.
tripping now. You tripping now. You
MOP
tripping now. Yes.
against the locks, bro.
Hey,
I'll debate you all day, and I don't even
got a
debate.
better MOP
Man,
got a
MOP
MOP
don't got
got a
nothing
better
better than
MOP got a better catalog all around because you said We Are the Streets. What about what's his name?
that's
What
all
about
that. So first round knockout with that.
no? Because
Yes,
yo,
yes.
Firing Squad, Warriors,
The Locks had business problems where they couldn't put out albums like that. But think about it, bro. That We Are the Streets, MOP, you can put any MOP album you want against that. You can make a hit list of MOP songs, a
hey yo,
playlist,
Prize.
and put it
The
against
name's
We Are the
Bill.
Street and MOP going D,
What up,
the
Bill?
unalived.
I'm a semi-automatic addict for real, and
Man,
there's
ain't
no
nobody
before
listen to
you
all
touch
that screaming
me.
and hollering. Niggas wasn't
And
listening to
I
that like
think
that.
that the kickback from a
So
gap
so
is
where
sexy.
you putting diplomatic immunity?
That's fire. That's the tough one.
I like diplomatic immunity, but I can't put it up
They
there with
wasn't
a lot of
rapping
group
like the
albums.
Locks.
I
that,
can't put it
that
up there
album
with
was
that group album.
way better than a lot of them.
Man, stop.
Santana Town. I
Man,
really mean it.
Santana's Town wasn't on that album though. That was on
but it
From Me to
wasn't.
You.
Right.
Huh?
That
Santana
wasn't
Town
Santana
on
wasn't
that
Town,
on.
that one?
Santana. That was on his album.
Oh, was it? Dang. I thought that was on
No.
K.
You thinking about the song you was just talking about, Prize? That's on Diplomatic Immunity 2.
What? Santana.
Yeah, that's on Diplomatic
It
Immunity
is?
2.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
He talking about Jewel's Dip, Santana,
Yeah,
set. That's
Jewels was on
Santana
that.
Town.
And you know, they had them heat
Oops,
makers with them beats
squirted.
was different. Them beats was different. You ain't never hear nothing. That sound was so different. You ain't never hear nothing like that.
Low key, Just Blaze had the better production on Diplomatic Community, but I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? I really
But
love
this
Just
Swiss,
Blaze.
we are the. I mean, yeah, that's a good battle right there. We Are the Street beats against Diplomatic Immunity. I don't know. I might just Blaze he was sliding on them joint, but Swiss was rolling too with that we gonna RU double F RYDE revolvers. You see me out. You know what I mean? Whoopty. You know what I mean? That Jadakiss joint when he talk about Puffy, that beat was crazy.
Top
And
groups, top groups. I love the Locks. The only reason why I just can't. Just as a rap fan, hip hop fan, all the way around. Only reason why I can't
yeah, man,
put them. Only reason why I can't put them in my top 3
busy on it.
because all of the other groups,
What group?
like for example,
Migos.
Migos is fantastic. What's name could rap his ass off. R.I.P. Takeoff.
Yes, he can. Yes, he
Takeoff could
could.
rap his ass off.
Yes, he could. Yes, he
All
could.
3 of them dudes could rap, but Takeoff could rap his ass off, bro. But
I learned that on one of his ciphers.
only thing that's keeping me from keeping the Locks out of my top 3 is just them other dudes just had like crazy runs. Like Tribe, they first 3 albums, even if you want to throw Beats, Rhymes, and Life in there, crazy.
I never liked none of that stuff.
Yeah,
when I was a young boy, I didn't like that kind of rap.
Yeah, I ain't like that either.
I liked it Helter Skelter. I liked it Onyx. I liked it Raw. I needed to hear cussing and street stuff. I didn't want to hear all that stuff that
I love all of it,
Q-Tip and them backpack rap niggas was talking about. I ain't want to hear none of that, dog. I did not want to hear it.
I love all of it because I just like rapping. I like rapping.
That's cool. I like Nas for rapping. That it was real was crazy.
Let me ask y'all this real quick. Is it just me or Prodigy for a short time was the best rapper?
Yes, he was.
He was.
Yes,
not.
he was. No,
I love Prodigy. I love Prodigy. I can't.
At
say
one
that
point, he was the best nigga out with that HIC run before that build up to that and that dropped and he delivered with it. Yo, Prodigy, I wouldn't argue that, BVO. I ain't saying he was a number one rapper ever, but at one time,
No,
yes, he
just for
was
that
pound for
one,
pound.
for that
Yes,
for
he
about
was number
2
one pound
years.
for pound. I'm riding with BVO on that one.
I can't put
Yes,
him up there, but I will say
I
this though.
can.
Prodigy got some of my favorite opening lines of all time.
Yes.
Like Prodigy's opening lines sound like the beginning of novels. Like you listen to the beginning of Quiet Storm. I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines. Like
Yeah.
that shit is just so
That was
poetic.
crazy.
Pete, yeah, you heard of him, but I ain't concerned with them. And yo, I pop more guns than you holding them.
I like when he was on that hook on that
Hey, Remo, let
murder
me ask you
music
this.
album
I
when he
break
was like, I
bread,
got big
ribs,
guns and sharp
$100
knives.
bills.
Hey,
Kill
Remo,
'em,
let me ask you
got
this.
Revolvers,
it on the
automatic
forehead.
jam at the wrong time.
Oh,
Fights with the
let me hop in
brass
real quick.
knuckles.
Hey, Remo, let me ask you this, man. Now, did you listen to a lot of Fly Guy rap or not really?
Yeah, I like Mace. Like that was fine.
Where y'all put state property at and all of that?
See,
And
what
their
about the Clips?
they property was cool, but
They
I
wasn't
mean,
really a group. That was more or less some niggas rhyming together by force.
because
That
Owen
one.
Sparks was a group and Chris and Neef was a group, so I'm with BVO on that. But at them as a whole, they was cool. You know, this is Philly rap. I can relate to it. What they was talking about with the Dickies and all that around that time, it was good music. I would say, but as far as the putting them in there a group, I wouldn't put them in there as a group like what BVO just said because it was just a bunch of niggas rhyming together. Because Chris and Neef, the Young Guns is their own group, and Owen Sparks was their own group. Then you can throw PD and Free, and there was a solo artist, and Beans was a solo artist. So, for me, it's hard to put the prop. But shout out State Prop Chain Gang.
PD Crack, one of the most underrated rappers of all time. I don't care what nobody say.
Cause that Dynasty album was nothing but a state property
That
compilation.
right. Facts.
You know what album I feel like don't get enough love, man? Was that Beanie Sigel Truth album.
Man,
That was banana. I was like, how is this young nigga rapping like this?
he snapped on
Like,
that John BVO. He snapped on the truth, dog. Especially with that die from a shot from a cig or a Glock from the kid on the block while sitting in the drop. Remember what I'm talking about?
Nah,
I
cause that
died because
nosy
I ain't
kid
see him
said I
coming.
did something.
8
Ooh,
shots, I ain't see him coming.
got
Die
my
'cause
body
of me.
numbing.
Yo,
Might get sparked. Yo,
might not
Flash,
feel
might
no
not feel no pain.
pain.
Might go
Might
out
go out
like
like dark
dark
skinned
skin
Jermaine.
Jermaine. Ooh,
Took a couple shots from the heart to the brain. Got all the dough, but don't know the cost of
close
the
to the
game.
game.
Young Buck didn't
Ooh,
want to come off the chain, whether he horse the rock or get. What would he say? I wouldn't catch a break like Big or Pop. I'd rather go out in the match, Jake,
make
make
it
us a lot.
slap.
That
Ooh,
was tough. Chapters of the same book, just a different page. Cause all
when
in
the
it just to
hustle
get
was to get
paid.
paid.
The way
oh,
he said that, John, was crazy. BVO, that's a good one.
I feel like when Lloyd Banks would talk about chicks, he was a monster, bro. Like, what's that song, Karma?
Yeah,
I
that
swear,
was crazy.
when Lloyd Banks was focused on talking about chicks, I feel like he the best in the game at that. I used
I
to
don't know. Mace was pretty good at that, bro.
know
Ain't nobody better than Mace with them chicks.
on there with him because I used to think that was crazy. Remember they even made Ghostface have a song with Neo. How you get your man back like that? Like even Ghostface tried to hop in on that. So
Nah,
I,
Ghostface been doing that. You ain't never heard Wildflower? Remember when I launched you and broke your ovary?
Oh
oh,
Been
yeah,
doing that since the
dun,
90s.
dun, and RZA on that beat.
but you
Yo,
know my favorite song.
RZA snapped on
Ice
that beat.
Cream. Ice Cream was on
Dun,
Only
dun,
Built for Cuban
dun,
Links, bro.
dun.
Right, you right. But you know what my
Honey
favorite
dip, fine
song
jury dripping.
Yeah,
I never
Raekwon
do.
verse. I like Cap verse at the end.
I,
Black chocolate girl wanna shake brown
Sound
like
like
thunder.
thunder. Ooh.
Yeah, Cap came
Step,
on
give me
that
your
joint
number.
different.
Your
Yeah.
persuasive,
bro, when
sexy tatas and thighs. What your bodily surprise.
Double die. What do you say? Ice cream, I miss you. I like you like I love my. Ooh,
Ooh, gay,
baby,
I
I miss
miss
you.
you.
And Meth came on that joint. Wu Tang in the cut. For real niggas, what? It's the after
After
party.
party.
Yo, that it
What up?
wasn't nobody. To me,
Hey.
that's my favorite group of all time. For me, the RZA, they were so original. They was doing stuff that in the sound you never heard. It was different. It trendset it rap. It made every other producer step their game way up. Cause that RZA was crazy. And then when he got Bobby Digital, he got a little wild. His imagination went real crazy. But around that Wu Tang, that first album in that Wu Tang Forever, bro, that run there, man, that was legendary.
you know what's so funny when Drake came out Wu Tang Forever? I thought that was the worst remake ever. Like, how you turn a song like that to you singing?
RZA cleared it, so
I actually like that song, but you know
I do
that song.
too. I do too.
He started off the opening. It was the opening
Yeah.
from It's Yours, Machine Gun
Yeah.
Rap.
Rap for
All
all
my
my
niggas
niggas
in
in
the
the back.
bag, stadium
Stadium
pack.
Pat. Yeah. I like Rizzo on that no, I like Holocaust on that beat that Bobby did. He came on Fountains of Pain shouting my name, Holocaust, black man who lame, that he was going crazy
You know
on
what's
that
crazy,
Bobby.
Prize, last year when that year before last, when the last Kendrick Lamar album came out and people was going crazy over that one joint that We Cry Together. I said that ain't nothing but domestic violence.
Yeah.
Remember the domestic violence on the
Yeah.
Bobby Digital
Yeah.
joint?
Yeah. That Bobby when he was like,
You
I
don't
am
quick
once.
or clean,
Yeah,
don't press my
yeah,
jeans. You don't
yeah.
read to the seeds.
He said Bobby was my dude on that Gravedigger album was crazy. They had them fangs. I had to go get some of them, and I only had them for 3 days before I took them out and lost them. But I had them for like 3 days though.
Speaking of grave diggers, what's the name? One of the most underrated dudes of all time in
Yeah,
hip
say his
hop.
name.
Prince Paul.
Yes, yes. I like them Gravediggers. That when RZA came on, what was he saying? My rotate my head like a gyro. My head grows in naughty spirals. What was that? That beat was crazy, man. It was them and the Gravedigger Boys.
BVO. You talked about love songs.
Yeah.
My favorite love song of all time,
Yeah.
I Love You Bitch by Sean Price.
Mm. Who from the Helter Skelter?
Yup.
Yeah, Sean P, man.
Oh,
Sean
R.I.P.
P.
Sean P. That is
Sean P
I
was
love me
tough.
some Sean Price,
I
bro.
used to like that Operation Knockdown. I cracked backs north, south, east, and west, y'all. Yo, with Rock Ness and Sean P, that's one of my favorite groups. That matter of fact, that whole shout out to the whole BCC because them other Bucktown they can rap too, and not
Yep.
Bucktown, but the what's they call? What's they call? You know the other
Tech and
group.
Still. You got
No,
Tech
no,
and
no,
Still
no.
and
What was the name of the group though?
Boot Camp Click.
Nah, that was the whole BCC. That was Helter Skelter. That was everybody together. What was that group? Yeah,
You talking about what's the name? You talking about Tech and Still probably. What the hell is Tech and Still's name?
what was that? What was the name of that rap group,
They
man?
had the album The Shining. I'm trying to think of
Yeah,
what Tech and Still's
and
name
they
is
was
right
had that
now.
song that
Smith and
Bucktown,
Wesson.
Smith and
Smith and
Wesson.
Wesson.
I
Yeah,
love
that's
Smith
Tech
and
and Still.
Wesson. Tech and Still was underrated.
Then they changed the name to the Cocoa Brothers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Coco Brother. Shout out to Tech and Still. But
Original Gun Clappers.
yeah.
Sarang
Yo,
Wonder
What?
and them.
Huh, your brain just blew. It's the original gun
Gun
clapper
Clapper
too.
too.
Russian too.
Hey.
What was he saying? Because not too many want to stay. Bro, them niggas could rap. I used to like that kind of rap. I ain't listen to Tribe Called Quest. I used to think they was corny. I ain't like none of them niggas that came from that with them. No, them niggas was trash to me. That's just how I was when I was young. And as an adult, I still don't like it. That's just me. You know what I mean? I like the Helter Skelter, the groups we talking about, Smith and Wesson. I was listening to them. I wasn't listening to no Q-Tip talking about no backpack shit and about stuff that he did, just hanging out. You know what I mean? I wasn't listening. I didn't want to hear none of that.
That's
Most of
why
the
I
time he
always
wasn't even
love.
talking about what's the
Real
name
quick.
though.
I always love when Jay-Z said, "You trying to kick knowledge?
Yeah,
Look, garbage."
he's nah that Nas said that.
What did what's the name say though? What did Jay-Z say
Nas
that?
said that.
Truthfully, I want to rhyme like common sense.
Yeah, he
But
did.
here's the other part of it though.
He
For me,
still got cooked.
my thing is this, man. I like technicality no matter where it comes from. I don't really trip over the content. The content is the content because it's all real when you really think about it.
Yeah.
You got people going through all different things in life, and then when you listen to certain people's catalog, it ain't really what you think it is. Like these dudes be talking about the same thing. Like Common, for example. You look at Common on the surface, you might think that he's always talking about black power this, black power that. Nah, he be talking
Nah,
about
he was rapping on that one
he be
joint.
talking about he be talking about running up in holes and all that shit. He be
Yeah,
like,
yeah, nah, he was
I built
rapping.
with
He
her
was
for a
he was
sec.
rapping.
I built with her for a sec, let her know I had respect. Less than an hour, she was giving me neck. He be talking about all that stuff. I got my eyes on the tiger, eyes on the prize, eyes on the thighs. A Mary J. Blige, imagining how good the cat must be. Like these dudes be talking about the same thing. Only difference is some guys got a little bit more tact, and some guys a little bit more straightforward. Some guys a little bit more raw with it. But
yo,
it's
Hey,
all
but
the
I
and
ain't gonna
same.
lie though, Ant. When I heard Easy,
when
I
I
heard
first heard
Easy
this
say
man,
he
when I first heard
swallowed it.
I remember when I first heard Fab jump on the radio. I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this? Punchline after punchline. I'm like, God damn. And then he was talking to swag rap too. So remember, Mace just got out the game. and they were saying he sound like Mace. But boy, when that nigga hopped on, we used to have Hot 97 back out here, where you used to wait for 9 o'clock to hear Funk Flex, and then between Fab and I grew up on a nigga named Stack Bundles. Oh my God.
Fabulous Sport, man. I remember when he was Fabulous Sport.
Yep.
Fabulous, the one from the Minotti mix, known to have more kicks than Karate Flicks. Same nigga. In a big body 6 with enough dough and pull to get Gotti fixed. I just love rap, man. I don't give a damn who you are, what you rapping about. If you rapping, I like it.
Who was better, you Stack Bundles or Max B? I always like Big Avell a little bit better. Who would you like better?
Rap wise, I thought I was more into Stack. The Stack to mix it up. But the more harmonizing thing, that's just the way that the game kind of went. And now where we at now, Max was already ahead of his time. You know what I'm saying? But Stack, he put some shit together, and it was hard to be a light-skinned nigga with braids back then, talking crazy. So you know what I'm saying? He was fighting both fights at the same time. So I was more of a Stack Bundles guy.
I always thought it was crazy how Jim Jones absorbed him and Max. It was like, dang.
Say that again?
It was crazy, always crazy to me how Jim Jones absorbed both them niggas, Stack and Max.
Yeah, the thing with Jimmy had a knack for the business side of shit. He was never a rapper, so he learned on the job, but he was getting checks behind the scene because he was producing. He was writing the treatments to videos and producing the videos. So he had a stamp in the game that nobody knew about back then. So he was eating a lot of the budget from Dipset, from Rockefeller, because he was getting paid behind the scenes. So he was learning the insides and out. So now when he got the deal with Koch, he kind of knew where his budget was going. And he knew where to apply it and put his name as the person making the money without having to put it in a PR's hand, or, you know what I'm saying, I need clothes for this or that, because he knew them connections already. So he learned the game inside out.
A$AP Yam used to work for Jim Jones back in the day.
Yeah, a couple people. I always liked Jim Jones. I always thought that Jim Jones was a solid rapper. The only thing with Jim, for me personally, I never felt like he was the best recording artist. Because you got some people who, you know, even if they solid rappers, just as a recording artist, everybody don't develop that aspect of it. Because like very early on, Jim was rapping. Remember, he was on Confessions of Fire. It's the song Me, My Moms, and Jimmy. He's on that. There was a freestyle that they did. The one where Cam was like, I told him like Mike and Billie Jean, you are not my lover. One time chopped my lover. Pled insanity. Said I forgot I love her. Jim rhymed on that joint too, on that freestyle. He got busy. So I think that Jim can rhyme. I think he does his thing, but I never felt like he was like the best recording artist. You got some people where, like Busta Rhymes, for example. Busta Rhymes, phenomenal recording artist. One of the top 5 recording artists in like the history of rap music, probably.
Probably.
Just being able to do so many different things, being able to be versatile, being able to rap on a joint like
Hey, remember that when Disaster Strikes? Yo, that
album is crazy.
Crazy.
The album is crazy.
Dude, Busta got like 30 years in the game, if not more.
Yeah. And he can still come back and entertain the young people.
Yeah, he's a legacy act.
But he's a phenomenal recording artist though, because there's just little things that you do. Like when you delve into it yourself and you start to look at certain things like where you're placing your words, circular breathing. Like circular breathing is a technique that's typically used by like woodwind instruments or horn players. Like being able to maximize each breath and breathe in and ration out the breath and being able to control that. When you look at Busta Rhymes, just like dynamically, like he could do like Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See, but then he could also do a joint like Everybody Rise on ELE. Like that's it's amazing. Just like the range that he has and the control that he has on his voice. Yo, even that one joint, Prize, on When Disaster Strikes, the title track, the la 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 la.
That beat was crazy, bro.
Yo, the way he uses his voice is crazy.
I
Like,
used to knock in my
get off my
jail.
block. Dun, dun, dun,
I like
dun,
that joint
dun.
with Puffy
Crazy.
and with P Diddy and all them on there. It was
That whole
Buster.
album is tough.
Yeah, that whole album. That When Disaster Strikes is hit different, man.
Rhymes galore, rhymes galore,
Yeah,
rhymes galore,
and them
rhymes
beats was
galore.
crazy, yeah.
Crazy.
I ain't
Him,
gonna. Yeah, Busta Rhymes got one of the best stage shows you can ever see.
Oh, for sure. I just seen him recently. Just seen him. Him and Split.
Man,
Those two are
Split,
like
they be
they
rocking.
are they are literally like artists with that joint. The way even without the DJ, they could pretend like they turning each other volume down and really still get into it. And this is Fat Buster too, because he didn't got fat, skinny, he didn't went crazy all over the place, but his performance never wavered, man. It's just an amazing thing to see, man. But to bounce back on something, BBO, right? My pops is 65 years old, right? And when DMX passed away, he was so hurt. You know why? He said he is one of the best performers that just couldn't get life together. But he said he's never been to a show like a DMX show. Just the energy, he'll pray for you, he'll get crazy, pyro, he jumping in the crowd. He was one of the first hip hop artists to really like cause a rave and jump in the crowd, not even caring because he wasn't wearing no jewelry, none of that. Like he wanted to be a man of the people. My pops love that dude, bro. At 65 years old, West Indian dude.
Damn, what happened?
DMX took it away.
This is DMS shows has mosh pits, yeah.
Yeah, DMX shows was crazy. I seen him
Yeah.
perform one time, man. That's like
Where
when that's when
I ain't get to see X.
that's when kind of Swiss was trying to revive it and like trying to get him more for what he was on before, and he brought him back around. Trying to clean him up, man, but he still had it, man. I think the whole thing with him and Jay-Z kind of took him out the game. Like when
Who?
Jay-Z,
X?
yeah, when Jay-Z took over as the president over there at Def Jam,
Yeah, he kind of ruined X.
he kind of put him on the back burner, and it's hard to have somebody that's literally one of your peers be the overseer of when your albums is released, et cetera, et cetera. So I think he took that kind of hard.
Yeah, maybe so, but I mean X run was legendary, you know what I mean?
Yeah, epic.
And he was rapping to back it up, you know what I'm saying? To
Hmm.
back that run up. He really was rapping if you listen. I know he had some hype stuff, but he got a bunch of good songs, bro, for me. But DMX is definitely one of my favorites. I rock with
Yeah,
X, man. You know, I like that whole Rough Rider movement. I thought they was
raw as
yeah,
hell.
yeah, I thought they was tough, man. They had, Locks. You had Drag was rapping. You had a couple other niggas rapping. You had them little niggas from Philly. Even Cass got on there.
Like
Yeah,
Cassidy
who
was
was
Cassidy,
there.
Drag on?
Cassidy.
Who was
When
he
I
there?
heard Cassidy boy on the remember Smack DVDs, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, who the hell is this little dude? He was going crazy. I'm like, nah.
Cass said, "It's Cassidy." I remember when I first moved up here. I watched him battle. My man was like, "We about to go watch a battle." When I come from North Carolina, I ain't never seen no battle raps, and I didn't seen them on like, maybe a DVD that somebody had in the city, but it might be one in the whole city. You know what I mean? But I went and the nigga took me, and the nigga Cassidy was like, and the boy was like, he's like, "Yo, this nigga," because they wasn't even calling him Cassidy yet. They was calling him the Bull B. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, I remember that.
And then niggas like, but they just started calling him Cassidy. The boy was like, "Man, the boy be rapping," and he's like, "Yeah," but they was like, he go by Cassidy, and that nigga was like, when it was his turn to rap, he's like, "Man, it's Cassidy. I get rocked like a boat when you go fishing. Hey, yo, listen, I'm the general, like toast chicken." And when he said that, I was like, "What?" And then everybody, we outside, you know what I mean? We outside in like a park. And the nigga said that, everybody went crazy. The nigga had to say it like 4 times before they even let the nigga cast it. He couldn't even get his raps off because and the boy had to kept cutting the camera off. And Cassidy kept saying that. He said get it, like I'm the general like toast chicken. And then he said something like the weapon on my waist. I can't remember what he said, but I saw that nigga when he was a young boy, and that nigga was saying some crazy stuff back then. And I like
Who's
you.
that dude? I used to love that dude, Murder Mook. He used to be a monster on the battle rap.
Yeah, he still is.
I
I
don't know what
think
happened.
Mook. I think nothing happened to Mook. Mook is one of the faces of Smack and URL. Mook to me had the best 3 rounds of battle rap history when he battled Tay Rock. What that nigga Mook was saying against Tay Rock, bruh, you ain't never heard no rapping. That was different.
That dude,
Oh
what's
yeah,
his
he
name?
was talking to his
Jersey
soul.
Rock like
Yes.
waves. He was cold.
Who?
The dude with the waves from Jersey. I can't think of his name. Too.
Who are you talking about? There's a couple of
Sue
them young
Surf.
boys from Jersey. Not Sirius Jones.
Who,
He ain't
Sue
had no.
Surf?
Two
Oh,
Seward
so
something.
Sue Surf.
Sue
Oh,
Surf?
yeah.
He
Free
doing
the
some time
waves. Free the
now.
Gonna be
waves.
in jail forever. Yeah.
No, he not. No, he not. Surf only got like a couple more. He coming out.
Oh,
And
okay.
then the match. Speaking of coming out, Thug walked it out today, didn't he?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, you
Who
better go
said?
look it up. Thug walked it out today. He got 15 years, 40 years probation, something like that. But 15,
That's
I
crazy.
know, but it's 15. He has to do 4 concert slash like assemblies. I'll just say a year on anti gang violence. He also has to. He's allowed to travel slash work. In other words, he can go rap and do his tours. And he's not allowed to talk to any felons or anybody with the gang stuff except for um his brother and Gunna. They're the only 2 he can talk to for that this whole case is about. And he's gonna be strict probation, and as long as he don't fail
They
any drug
wasted
tests, get in any trouble,
the state's,
Thug walked it out today.
they just wasted the state's money, man. They did this the longest trial in Georgia history, and y'all.
They gave him a plea. He went and pleaded guilty and said he gave a little speech at the end, but you could tell he was happy he was getting out. I'm so glad they let that boy go. That whole thing was a freaking circus, dog.
It
It
was
was the
just,
most embarrassing thing you said. Go ahead, BVL.
no, I would say it was just a witch hunt. That's all. It was a witch hunt.
It was embarrassing. That's what it
Yeah,
was. It was
that that
embarrassing.
that 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 Rico situation, it don't have no beginning, middle, and ending. That's why I never understood that shit. It's like
Yeah, it's
it
weird,
could
bro.
go on. You spoke to somebody that associated with somebody, and it's like it ties you in. Like, this shit is crazy, man.
It really is, bro. I mean,
40 years
I don't understand it.
probation. Oh god damn.
Yeah, I mean, I
You
don't
can't even
understand.
sneeze the wrong way.
40
But you know,
That's
but it's like
extreme.
it says 40 years, but it's broken down. It's like really like 15 years of
That's
probation.
still a long time
Yeah,
to
it
be on
is.
probation.
Ti was on probation like that. He got off. You know what I mean?
But the dudes that's like that got them long situations, they already icons. They really don't have to really do much. Like what's the name? What's the young boy from Chicago? Chief Keef.
Keith got went lay low, didn't he?
Yeah, he just started being able to perform and stuff like that again, and that was because he got a situation with Kanye. Other than that, like he was just living
But
life,
Keith was
and
getting money off monthly streams, and
yeah,
he got a popular marijuana strain out there in California that's really doing well. Chief Sosa's doing very well for him. So I was shocked at the money that he was bringing in. I was like, all right, Keith, that's what's up. You know what I mean? But when Thug get out, he's about to be the biggest rapper of like he's about to make so much money. He's gonna make his money back so fast, or that because he spent all his money. His house is abandoned. You know, he got to go pay off some mortgages and some. I know he got some stuff to pay, but he's about to be the biggest thing cooking when and Thug is free, bro.
You know the thing that got me, man, it's something I'm working on behind the scenes. When I see my man Gunna get out of jail and get in shape, I thought that was the dopest thing you could ever see. Like he really did something with that time. He didn't let that time just, you know what I mean? You look
Yeah,
at
busting it too, man. Gucci Mane. Gucci came
yeah,
back looking like a whole new person. People was talking about this dude had got cloned. That's when you know you in good shape. People don't even believe it's
yeah,
you.
when you get healthy and you move out the way, people always want to put smut on your name. But I just might be living a little happier and a little less dangerous, and people don't appreciate that type of stuff, man.
That's just us, man. That's just black folks. You know how it is, man. You
Yeah,
get in shape, motherfuckers automatically assume you sick.
Nigga be mad as hell. You went to the dentist and got your teeth fixed. Like,
Right. Yo, I was
Uh,
seeing people saying this man Gucci was a clone. I was like, what? Cause
people believing that too, man. People was
cause he took care of himself and he stopped drinking lean and doing whatever else he was doing. I'm with you, BVO. You know, shout out to Gunner for getting himself right and coming back brand new.
yeah.
That's
Can
awesome.
we get Tory back home now?
You know, he just wanted to appeal.
Listen, man, Tory had C19 live on Instagram, man. I wasn't missing not a day off of Tory live. But
That's another talented dude.
Yeah,
Man.
free Tory.
I still
That
say
guy's talented.
Tory, he could rap, he could rhyme, he could do
Do a little bit of everything, man. Some of these
Yeah.
guys, it's amazing seeing how talented they are. Like, what's his name? He's phenomenal to me, man. I don't care what nobody say. Chris Brown.
Yeah, no doubt.
Not
Man,
just
that
with the
man could
singing,
do
with the dancing, but like you see this dude play basketball. You see him do
Yeah.
like graffiti and stuff. I'm like, what the hell can he do?
Yeah, he's just a talented dude.
Chris Brown could do damn near anything he want to do, bro.
do
It's
a-
his
and do a-
world.
and
We
do
just
a
living in it.
backflip. He do a backflip right after a whole 2-hour concert. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I
Between
went
him
to I went to his show in May.
2'6"
Phenomenal.
doing a backflip.
what's
Like
his
Mike
name
was
is a
like maybe
mutant too.
5'10".
What's this guy name? Jamie Foxx. He a mutant too. He
Yeah.
one of them. That dude is talented, man. He can do a little bit of everything.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he a clone though now. Ain't that what they say? Jamie Foxx a clone now.
I mean, it was kind of weird. That stuff was kind of weird, though.
Yeah, I really did. It was no beginning or ending with what took place with him. It was no announcement, like no medical reports, nothing. He just came back with a new hairline and he was regular.
No
Came back from
tattoos.
Turkey.
I don't know.
It was a little different.
But that's
That's
something.
how it is with black folks, though, man. You get yourself together, folks saying you got cloned.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You funny. That is.
I can't wait to get cloned.
You sold yourself to the Illuminati.
Boy.
Hey, you know what's so funny? This is something that just that blows my mind. Now you know how ain't much going on in boxing, right? And to see like how the boxing community cannibalize each other. Like all of a sudden now this person is the bad guy or that person. It's like, dang, that's just a black thing. Like, let me pull him at the bottom of the barrel with me. For what? Like, for what?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm getting $500 super chats, I ain't talking about none of y'all goofballs. I'm trying to have some fun. Like, it's just, I don't know what it is with blacks, but it's like we always got to be extra with each
It's
other.
always some YouTube beef going on. This one said that one. This one beefing with that one. I'd be like, dang, why can't everybody? Why can't if you listen? Why can't you listen? Why can't I listen to all the brothers' channels?
Hey, if y'all, I hope one day they don't like BBO enough to send me a $500 chat to tell somebody how much they don't like me.
Yeah,
Do it, man. Do it.
that's
'Cause
crazy work with me, man.
I notice is people don't understand, man. It's a show, man. A lot of the stuff in entertainment is all a show. I don't think Puffy did all the stuff they said he did. I really don't.
I don't either, but that's another argument.
Nah, did he go crazy on that girl? Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
Nah, he probably did that stuff. He probably did that stuff. But like I was saying the other night, BVO, I'm more disappointed in the fact that he got programmed and conditioned in the first place because he got it from somewhere else. This is nothing original. You know, I think that you got so many people, they get into a particular field, whatever it is, whether it be entertainment or politics, and they got beautiful ideas.
Yeah.
But then they get corrupted by those who are already in place. They have a system going that we can't afford for this to be disrupted because it benefits us too much. So this person who's coming in here thinking that they're going to make a change and they're just excited and enthusiastic, we got to turn them out some way, somehow. And then they become a part of that system. And I truly believe that's what happened with Puff. And that's what happened with this one and that one. And the thing that's so sad about it is when you really look at it, it's not even so much a matter of these people engaging in adult activity. That's not the issue. It's the bribery, the drugging, the trafficking, and all of these other things that don't need to take place
That's what
within
Uber.
this space. You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy though, Ant? Right? Now that you say that, right? In the industry, right? Ever since the 70s, the same music contract that has been handed down all the way to the early 2000s, right? Then they started doing the little indie thing, right? And then independent went so far to see that they was making too much money by themselves. So what they do, they turn around and they present 360 deals. Now you're getting all of these lottos and all these other single songs, right? These people are doing 1 billion streams and getting paid maybe 3 cents per stream. Like this shit don't be
It's not
making no
even 3
sense.
cents. It's 0.00006.
That's crazy though. But like it's been handed down from the 70s, right? And then now artists figured out they found a way how the industry works. So what they do, they sign artists under the umbrella, underneath another umbrella, and hide away their royalties and all of this stuff, and it continues down the line. Remember back in the day, like it was cool to have to go to a party where you signed an NDA and all of this because it was lit. Now all of that shit is coming back into play, man. What really went on that you had to sign an NDA to go to somebody's party? Now they looking into that. So the same NDA that these people signed, now they open up the books on that. What really happened? Who was here? Who attended these? Whose signatures on this? Going left and right, man. So sometimes being 1,000 is better than being a millionaire, man.
No, for sure. And to be honest with you, got some of these people who are making so much money because they're seeing more of it. Because naturally, people want to be on the big stage, right? Because you would assume that's what's going to yield you the results that you desire. You think, all right, if I have 1 million people, however many people streaming my music, then I'm going to be set up. I'm going to be rich.
Yeah.
But with the percentages being what they are, that just ain't the case. You're better off being somebody who is, I guess you could say, relatively unknown, but you got a fan base that's large enough to sustain you. And not only that, but they're willing to meet you at your price point.
As
You
that
got
kid,
5,000
Lil
people a
Russell.
year paying you $200.
Mm-hmm.
You know, throughout your whole catalog, whether it be like your music, your merchandise, your shows, but 5,000 people paying you $200 a year is $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without having to take an advance, without having to dip this person or pay this, like this shit is crazy. I follow this dude, right? He corny as hell to me. Lil Russell, right? The dude is independent. And he just do exactly what you say. He pack out a couple shows every town that he go in, small venues.
Bro, he does shows in his backyard.
Yeah, facts. He killing them. He killing them. He a regular dude. Like he don't wear no big jewelry, no nothing. He don't owe nobody for taking no advance or nothing. I always ask that. How come that girl, Young M.A. never signed, but she probably see what the back end of that was and was like, you know what? I don't even want no parts of that. She was hot as fish grease. She was just like, yo, I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
Yeah, because you can make decent money doing otherwise, and then you also have all of these other means like sync licensing. You know, you get your stuff placed on a TV show and a movie or what have you, and then boom,
yeah, you get it back in like 8 years or something like that, and then yeah, you're right, man. That's why I don't be mad when dudes say, yo, they successful in certain places like athletes, and they be like, all right, I had enough, I retire.
But again, you know, the main thing for me is for those people who are in these positions of power, the most disappointing thing is that it's unnecessary to like bribe somebody or to blackmail somebody.
Take advantage of them.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Everything could be just based on merit, and whatever you want to do extracurricular. Like if you want to do adult things, then you can do adult things, but just keep that separate from the business.
I don't think that's possible, man.
It is possible. It is possible because one doesn't have anything to do with the other. The problem, in my personal opinion, is when these things get conflated. If you're Puffy or you're whoever else and you run a big label or you run a big movie production company, you can hire somebody based on the merit of their work. You have them come in, they do an audition, you have them come in, they play you their demo tape, and if you like it, you proceed. You move forward with the process. If you don't, you just move along, and that's it. Now, if you want to deal with that person outside of that, then you still can do that too. Like, hey, whoopty whoop whoop. Let's link up. If they with it, they with it. If they not, they not. But all that, like, yo, if you wanna come through to the studio, you got to do X, Y, Z. You want to be featured on this album, you got to do X, Y, Z. You want a part in this movie, you got to suck my man off. Like, you don't got to do all that. You can literally just audition for the part. Because
Yeah.
you got some of these people who would be willing to still do the same things without you dangling the carrot in front of them.
Yo, fans ain't never gonna get another Rihanna album, and if she do, it's gonna sell 1 trillion albums. But she don't have to no more. It's being what you said, like she got Fenty, she didn't hit
Yep.
into the billionaire conversation without, music. When the last album she dropped? Almost 10 years ago now.
You know what's funny? She's like to me the most unlikely star in the world. Like I don't know how Rihanna was able to do what she did because I don't remember like her being like that person people was looking at. Like I don't know
But
what happened.
she came in under the right umbrella. She came under Rockefeller.
What happened to Tina Marie? I remember they used to have her. I thought she was gonna be the new Maya, man, but I see she fell all the way off.
She's
I
probably
think
messed up in the head too. She was wrapped up in that Puff stuff. She sued him too.
Well, Tina Marie did.
Yeah, Tiara Marie.
Oh,
Tiara
Tara
Marie.
Marie. Okay.
She sued him too. It was some craziness. They said I was reading the I think it was like the deposition or something like that. But they were saying
Okay.
apparently because she's from Detroit.
Okay.
She met Puff's right hand man, the dude Harv Pierre.
Yeah.
When she was 17 years old. Harv was like, "Yeah, Puff, my man, I can get you a meeting over at Bad Boy. Come through on the jet, and then we'll go see Puff." She gets on the plane with this dude. Apparently, in the middle of all of this, they however many 1,000 feet in the air, homeboy starts smoking crack.
Oh
And
my God.
peace out. You know what I'm saying? And get to top him off while he's high on crack on the plane. It's like, why do you even have to do all that? Like, and that's what I'm saying. That's where the lines get blurred. Because he could have just.
But that's leveraging. That's leveraging power, man.
That's what I'm saying, though, Remo. It's like it just don't have to be that way. You could still, if you want to smoke crack, you know what I'm saying, and get your rock, and get your mic rock, you could do that outside of the confines of the music industry. It's like the two don't. That's what be getting these dudes in trouble. It's the power tripping. It's the power. It's like you already the man. Like, yo, think about how many chicks would be willing to sleep with Puff just because he's Puff. You don't need to be trying to bribe them like, yo, I can do this and I can do that for you. I can do this and I can do that. And why don't you take this pill? It's like, yo, you're Puff Daddy. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you have people who literally pass out just at the sight of certain celebrities. You watch old Michael Jackson concerts, people,
ambulances. They
That was crazy.
They crowd surfing people to get them to the ambulance. Dudes is passed out.
You feel me? But Mike wouldn't have to be like, yeah, I can sign you to Motown if you suck the hee hee. You know what I mean? It's just we could do a little hee hee. Nah, just like you the king of pop. I'm with it.
I'm gonna tell you something that you probably ain't never thought of, and I know this from being around like a lot of football players and stuff and basketball players too. Dudes be really cornballs and don't have no game.
Oh no, trust me, I thought of that.
Whole life. I think Jeff Teague just came out with something that was pretty powerful. He said, don't make no sport your life. And then when that sport is taken from you after 10, 12 years, you have nothing to give. So I be hearing dudes like in Cleveland who still be talking about when they played LeBron back in 03 in high school. I be thinking like, dog, 40. Why are you talking about LeBron's old ass? Like he about to retire. Someone when you played LeBron when you was in high school, like I'm telling you, it's dudes that's like 39, 40. That's like I'm telling you, and you wouldn't believe but it's real. Niggas see me talking about, oh, I dunked on LeBron back in 02, 03.
Yeah, man. I mean, you always got people that's gonna be trying to relive the glory days, or as Nas said, the second childhood. And like we were talking about earlier, and Praz was talking about the backpack rap or something like that, right? But I'm gonna keep it real with you. There was a point in time where I was a little bit displeased with gangster rap because it really dawned on me that a lot of these guys who was quote unquote gangster rappers or just gangsters in general, like a lot of these dudes is corny as hell to me.
Yep, they
Like
was watching that shit from their porch and rapping about
it's
it.
not even about watching it from it's not even about watching it from the porch. It's like when you really look at the narratives, like like a lot of it is just lame ass just shit. Like you got a lot of dudes talking about, yo, back then when I wasn't this, that, and the third, nobody was messing with me. Mike Jones got a whole song about back then hoes didn't
They
want
didn't
me.
want me here. Now I'm
Now
hot,
I'm
Yo,
they all
bro,
hot.
on
They
me.
all on me.
I never
That was the
had that
realest
issue.
joint ever. Yeah.
It's not the realest thing ever because I never dealt with that, man. Like
Me neither.
listen,
But I know niggas like him did, so I felt him.
I
He
But
don't
probably ain't
feel
getting
it, but
no
that's what I'm
biddies.
saying.
He probably ain't getting no biddies. And now that he on, now I'm hot. And they all on. That was personal for him. That's
but
why I
look what
felt that was
happened.
the realest thing.
But look what happened, right? He go get one of them that ain't never pay him no mind. Go get him babies, and now he didn't got one for one, and then he done fell off. Now what? Now what?
Nah, he doing pretty good in Texas.
No, I'm just saying, not him per se, but I mean dudes in that position. You go get one that's hunt, because most of them chicks now they hunting you down now. You
That's the real
become
thing.
them
Nah, but
girls become
a
they
lot of
become
them dudes
predators.
be cornballs, man. And then here's the other thing too, right? Like dudes be making these songs constantly talking about how they basically trying to be like a dude's Eskimo brother.
Well, my
Like,
Oh
like yo,
what my man Rick
I
Ross
effed your
said.
girl and I never was like, yo, it's like all these women in here is like, why are you going out of your way to deal with somebody who's already spoken for?
That's a power play, and that's all that is.
nah, hell, you heard what
That's cornball shit.
That
If you over here, yo, that's corny. And another thing that's corny too is dirty macking. Dirty macking is corny as hell.
they hate on
If you gotta talk to a woman and
and
shit
dog.
on another dude in the process, you corny as hell.
I tell
I
you
bet
this.
your man can't do it like this, that, and the third. It's like, yo, you're corny.
You heard
Because it's
what
not
You
you're
heard
not
what
even
Kim
bagging chicks
said,
on
yeah?
your own merit.
Kim said the other day, yo, it's mad women out here. Y'all rappers and athletes all dealing with the same chick. Why?
You
Right,
gonna
it's
eat this
so
in the fish.
crazy, bro. It's so crazy. Like the basketball player, the one Brandon Ingram hit the shot over Anthony. What
Oh,
was his name?
Yup.
Simmons,
yeah,
and they got the
Simon,
same
yeah,
baby
Same
mama.
baby mother.
That's
Crazy.
yeah.
so
That's
goofy, bro. Like, why is you sniffing around his baby mama? All these Instagram girls
Got
and
a
all these OnlyFans girls to go play with,
fish
and you
bowl.
sitting around here worrying about that man, baby mama. These niggas is weird. I don't like
Bro,
this new generation. I don't like you
nope.
niggas.
Yo, listen. When we used to leave from New York and see them girls in North Carolina, the way they used to be dressed, like, oh, what the hell is that's the original big booty joints over there? Anyway, they used to be wearing Reeboks and all that shit. Like, yo, what is going on here? But I didn't care about none of it because I ain't know none of them. In New York, everybody know a couple of the same circles, especially where I'm from. But these dudes have access to be anywhere in the world tomorrow. Y'all in the same club in
You
Atlanta?
don't realize you gonna eat what's in the fish bowl, man. That's what's in the fish.
Nah. If I got enough bread, I don't got to be in the fish bowl. I could be in the ocean.
That's not true. The fish bowl, everybody's in it. Even if you
Nah. It is true, BVO. What it is what it comes down to is this. You got a whole bunch of dudes that are more concerned with competing with each other than actually dealing with the women that they like. That's what it be coming down to.
oh for sure.
It's a whole lot of insecurity, a whole lot of look at me. I see him doing it, so I gotta go do it too. It's like some real monkey see, monkey do. Lack of individuality. That's what it really be coming down to more often than not. And that's the reason why guys be making it a point to let you know. That's
Yeah.
one of the first things that somebody will do to try to insult somebody. One dude to another dude. Yeah, I'll F you, whatever, whoever. It's like, yo, it's like all these women out here, and you going behind me. It's one thing
they
if
want
you
you to
it's
know.
one thing if you build like a genuine connection with somebody. That's different. Like somebody, it just happened like that. You can't help who you like, but that don't be the case a lot of times, man. A
No.
lot of it just be like a lot of insecurity, and dudes just be going behind each other intentionally.
Yeah.
Intentionally. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I think I don't know, man. I think a lot of dudes, like you were saying, I think a lot of dudes really just be insecure, man. I didn't really see dudes really throw hands about girls and be like, "Yo, I'm hitting her," because I remember. I'll tell you a funny story. I remember this one dude didn't like this other dude on a team, so he found out who the dude's baby mom was, and just kept hollering, and kept hollering, kept hollering. Then when he finally cracked, the first thing he did was send old boy a picture that he was laid out with his baby mom. And I was thinking like,
That's crazy.
that's crazy work.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's like why? Like why?
I'm real discreet.
I couldn't tell you why.
I
I
got FaceTimed by somebody's boyfriend the other night, and I was just trying to explain to this dude that it's not what you think. But he was insisted that it was, and he kept screaming at me about tell him the truth. And I swear to I can't make this stuff up. And I told him, "What do you want from me? I don't know what kind of truth you want from me, bro. You know what I mean?" Then it was just a mess, bro. And all this stuff I screen recorded. It's hilarious.
he
I
gave you the
felt
beats or no?
like FaceTime me, and I was just like, bro, listen, if I wanted your girl, I would fly her to me tomorrow morning, and she know it, and I know it. And you like, so you need to stop being secure. You got all this stuff going on, and you the one stepped out on her. Now she reached out to me. Now you all mad. Now you want me to tell you some truth that doesn't exist. You feel me? But shout out to him.
I'll say this though, man. If you want to play dirty pool and get a brother back, the only way to really get somebody back is through their woman, man. I wouldn't do it because it's too dangerous. But I've noticed that when cats mess with, let alone if it be somebody's wife or somebody got kids with, dudes be hot about that. So it's it's a real thing, man. It's a real thing. I tell you that.
BV, I'm about to drop off, brother.
But we all about to get out of here.
All right, peace
All
out.
right, gents.
Hey, it's your boy BBO, aka Kareem Akbar, and we gone, y'all. Peace.
Peace.